What's going on, everyone? Welcome into another Forward Progress live watch along presented by Fanduel. It's Sunday Night Football. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets. I'm Rob Pizzola. I'm here with you for the duration of this evening. In the first half, Clive Bixby will join me. We will recap the day that was. We will look ahead to the Week 8 openers, try to find some early value. Second half, Jeff Feinberg, third and quarter. I think Jeff was at the Bills game today. I could be wrong, but I think he was. So I don't know what condition he's going to be in. Fourth quarter, Austin Mock, per usual, on Sunday Night Football. I see a lot of people in the chat in the early going here, a lot of usual suspects. Appreciate all of you that have tuned in. Anthony, we'll get right into it. But before we do, smash that like button down below. Let's get the likes up as much as possible before the stream so I don't have to beg you guys on the stream to like it. So smash that like button down below. If it's your first time here, make sure you're subbed to Forward Progress. I see some commentary around Jonnu Smith touchdown. It was nice to hit that one. I feel like we kind of got unlucky with a couple other ones there. Theo Johnson with the push-off in the end zone. Very clearly a push-off, but that would have been a nice payday as well from this morning. And Cedric Tillman, they did throw to him in the end zone. It was a defensive pass interference. He actually caught a 2-point conversion attempt as well. But whatever. I digress. Onwards and upwards. On to this game tonight. I broke it down this morning on Pizza Buffet. For those who are watching, you're going to notice I'm cheering for the New York Jets tonight. I've bet the Jets. I'm going to build the same game parlay around the Jets as well. But I do like some props in this game. Unfortunately, that scumbag Hitman had to make a release like 20 minutes ago and kill one of the props that I was going to give out in Tyler Conklin unders. I think those are kind of nuked at this point. But we'll start on the Jets side. There's a lot of guesswork to do with these games. There was some guesswork in the Bills game today with how much is Amari Cooper going to feature in the offense. There's some guesswork with how much will Devontae Adams feature in the offense. This is a very basic offense that Nathaniel Hackett runs with the Jets. It's very similar to the offense that Aaron Rodgers ran when he was with the Green Bay Packers. I think it's going to be a pretty seamless transition for Devontae Adams here. I don't think the hamstring is a real hamstring injury. I think that was a I hate Antonio Pierce injury. Subsequently, I like the Allen Lazard unders in this game. Both receiving yards, which is priced in the upper 20s, and 2.5 receptions as well at minus 110. Now, of course, we're sponsored by Fanduel here. I would strongly suggest you always get the best price in market. FanDuel's the only one with the 29.5 receiving yards. Definitely bet it there. There's a lot of books that have receptions under 2.5 minus 110. I'm going half unit on each, but obviously if you have a FanDuel account, it's easy to hit both of those for a half unit. So $50, Allen Lazard unders. There was some service plays on Braylon Allen unders earlier this week. I understand why. He didn't get much run on Monday Night Football. It was the Breece Hall show. With that said, I think the market has overcorrected. Now, I'm playing back against Steam here on Braylon Allen. And again, I want to be very upfront with you. FanDuel best price here at 18.5. Juice to the over. If you're searching elsewhere, you're going to find 20.5. So you're going to find a 19.5 heavily juiced to the over. I don't mind those either. But with the amount of uncertainty in the backfield, I prefer to get the best number wherever possible. Braylon Allen over 18.5 rushing yards, minus 110 for half a unit. We'll stick with anytime touchdown score really quickly on the Jets side. I'm not playing an anytime touchdown score for the Steelers today because I think their offense stinks. And the way that these guys are priced, it's like they're going to score 3 touchdowns in the game. I'm not convinced that they are. I don't think there's value in Steelers. There's one person. It's very narrative-y. It's probably a coin flip and not a real edge. But I'm playing Aaron Rodgers anytime touchdown. He's looking a little bit better on his feet recently. And right now you can get him in the 11-1 range. I'll just do a quick price shop quickly to make sure that we're finding the best value at all times. Aaron Rodgers, anytime touchdown. Okay, there are some
13 and 12 to 1.
Yeah, 13 and 12 to 1 out there. 11's not bad. You need 10 to 1 or better. Don't play it at less. put $10 down on it. 1/10 of a unit. Aaron Rodgers, anytime touchdown is what I want to do here. On the Steelers side, one name immediately comes to mind as soon as I hear Russell Wilson and as soon as I believe that the Steelers are going to be in a trailing game state. That name is Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren over 2.5 receptions at plus 116, I think is incredible value. I think he should be priced with a minus in front of him on over 2.5 receptions. The receiving yards is also a good bet at Fanduel. Best price in market, 13.5. But I think the better edge is on the receptions. You could go 50-50 if you wanted to. Take the receiving yardage over 13.5 as well. But I'm going to go, let's do that actually, Jason. Let's do 50-50. Receiving yards on Jaylen Warren as well. So we're going to play over 2.5 receptions plus 116 over on receiving yards in this one. And this is pretty obvious. The handicap is simple. You got the check down king in Russell Wilson. They love to throw screens. The one that I really like. SGP time. We might be frozen on the FanDuel screen, but I'm going to give out the SGP regardless because I want to give you enough time to bet it. And if we can get it back up and running, we'll get the screen back up and running here. We got it. SGP. Remember, bet responsibly. I saw someone joking in the chat earlier, he needs a winner tonight. This is going to be a long shot. It's probably not going to win. In some cases, we're going to win stuff like Jonnu Smith at 7-1. Somebody played him first touchdown score in that game, 31-1. Sometimes we're going to get those. Most of the time, we're not. Bet responsibly. Bet within your limits. I think over the long run, I have a proven track record on these watch-alongs of being able to win people money. But I just need to say that before anyone goes nuts on like a chase game or anything like that tonight. Let's start with an alternate spread on the Jets. Minus 5.5. I talked about this on Pizza Buffet this morning. I don't want to go too much more deep into it, but I really struggle to see the interior O-line for the Steelers hold up in this game. I'm going alternate 9, Jets minus 5.5. I am then going to take Russell Wilson, 200 plus passing yards. Here's the reason why. This Russell Wilson price is not a full Russell Wilson price. There is some built-in probability here that Russell Wilson gets yanked in this game, gets pulled in favor of Justin Fields. I don't think that's going to happen. The Steelers have been very clear they're going to give Russell Wilson the run tonight. In a trailing game state, I think he can pick up some yardage here. It might look ugly for a lot of the game, but I think 200 plus is a good look. And of course, who's that yardage going to go to? My guy, Jaylen Warren, who will be in there on the passing downs. Again, think about this like a Jets blowout. What's going to happen late in the game? Lots of dump offs to Jaylen Warren. We will take 25 plus yards on Jaylen Warren as his alternate receiving. And we're getting a parlay of 14-26. You can use a boost for that for Sunday Night Football. Get it up to 21-1. That's the SGP for tonight. We'll get it down on screen, but once again, Jets minus 5.5. Russell Wilson, 200 plus yards. Jaylen Warren, 25 plus yards. I bet this right before the show. Full transparency. I got slightly better price at 15-1. It's not all that far off. Beat Gamer asks about Pickens. I talked about Pickens unders on the stream this morning. The difference is that the Pickens numbers are not, I mean, it's still there. The 54.5 is still there. We can go for that. It's back up. That's not necessarily a good sign. That's kind of like the cutoff. I don't want to play anything worse than that. I don't want to play those 50.5s in market right now. So that's totally fine. Half unit Pickens under 54.5 as well. And that's it for props to start the game. MRM says, great call on Jonnu. I appreciate that. I mean, listen, that was just, they had talked about it all week. Going to get him heavily involved. By the way, we'll talk about that game afterwards. What a farce. The Colts, I don't know how they do it. 2 fumbles, Alec Ingold, Raheem Mostert, field goal I don't know how it happens. I don't know how it happens. Anthony Pierce still kicking field goals in LA. You know what? Anthony Pierce, I'm going to get myself an Anthony Pierce jersey. Because as soon as AOC got hurt, I was mashing Raiders live. Gardner Minshew sucked today, but thank you. Thank you, Antonio Pierce, for playing for the cover instead of playing for the win, like the goof that you are. Levi says, got Devontae first TV, most narrative bet I've ever made, but I think Aaron gets him a shot. Honestly, I don't mind that at all. You see like these types of narrative game, like look at Saquon Barkley today. It's not that like, it's possible Saquon Barkley is trying harder, but I think the coaching staff in a lot of these games really does what they can to get the player the ball as much as humanly possible. And it doesn't mean it's a guarantee. Oftentimes the prices are adjusted accordingly. But yeah. What do you think of Jets anytime a TD on defense? Listen, I don't want to talk people off of it, and then it certainly can happen. I looked at the prices for both defenses to score a touchdown before the stream. I did not think that they were valuable. So I'm going to be honest with you people, in the 7-8 to 1 range, I don't think that's a great bet. I do want to outline what I do think are still good bets on the board at FanDuel only. They are a show sponsor, and they're a great sportsbook. You should bet there. If you want to bet Russ anytime TD, do it at FanDuel because he's 7 to 1 there, and he's not 7 to 1 everywhere else. He's like plus 450 everywhere else. I already highlighted the Allen Lazard unders, receiving unders at FanDuel. That's the best price in market. You play it there. And that's going to be it. Those are the best ones that are out there right now. Before I bring on Clive, I do want to remind you, make sure you bet the NFL season on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. I'm a huge fan of the product. Honestly, it's great. Whether or not they were sponsoring the content, I would be advocating for FanDuel as a book because they have tons of options. They treat bettors fairly. They have a great product. You can't really ask for much more. And right now, all customers get a profit boost every single NFL game day. That means you can pump up your gridiron winnings multiple times a week. Tonight, we got the Sunday Night Football SGP Profit Boost Token. If you're playing the SGP that I gave out, or you're doing your own, make sure you use the Profit Boost Token for tonight. FanDuel has tons of ways you can get in on the action. You can bet money line, spreads, player props, and more. Plus, with super simple live betting, lightning fast bet settlement, and instant withdrawals, FanDuel makes betting on the NFL easier than ever before. Just visit FanDuel.com/forward-progress to download FanDuel today. You must be 21 plus and present in select states or 18 plus and present in DC. Opt-in is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable Profit Boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms for these offers at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. And as you know, you've heard me talk about my experiences in the past as a problem gamer before. Do what you can to get help. It's Sunday Night Football as well. Don't chase losses from earlier in the day. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Very cliche, but it's true. It's very true. All right. Before we get to the game start, let's bring in my brother from another mother, Clive Bixby. Ooh, that hat. Sending shivers. I know. Man, Giancarlo Stanton gets the playoffs. The guy is like turns into Babe Ruth all of a sudden. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it's a miracle. He can't run, but damn, can he still hit?
Yeah, he is. I've been watching a lot of Yankees baseball lately, rooting for them to lose. And yeah, they haven't lost, unfortunately.
Yeah, my biggest goal this week is to go. Well, I guess the Yankees won't have home field if the Dodgers win, so then they wouldn't have a home game Friday. But my goal is to go to their first home game.
That would be pretty Unreal. I love live sports. Let's pull this up really quickly on screen, Jason, if we can. Davante Adams to catch a pass, first drive, minus 138. Like, I really think they will try to throw a pass to Adams, but I don't know that I want to do minus 138 in the early.
If I can just jump in here, instead of doing this, just play his alt overs. 6+ is like plus 130, I think, 120 on FanDuel. And like if they're pricing him like this to catch a pass on the first drive, I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. That's actually some sound advice from Jason, to be honest. It's extremely rare. By the way, he got his mic working. I thought his mic wasn't working. Jason, I thought your mic wasn't working.
We were talking before we went on air. What are you talking about?
No,
you and I literally had a conversation before we went on.
Oh, air. I know what happened. I sent out the tweet that your mic wasn't working while you were trying to fix your mic. All right. Well,
that's all good.
Yeah. Kurtar asks, what's the Bung Magoo release? I didn't get anything from Bung before the game today. I think he's actually just, he's trying to retire undefeated or something like that, I think. But anyways, we've set our pregame bets. We'll talk about the game in real time as it happens. But Clive, how was the day overall for you?
It's not going to pay for World Series tickets, but it was okay.
Okay. So we've had winning day. We had a winning day today.
Yeah, today went well.
Any rooting interest in Sunday Night Football?
I don't. I just want it to actually be a little bit better than last week's game.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we talked about last week's game hardly at all because it was so uneventful.
It's true. We were more focused on like the opening lines, but yeah, it was a terrible game.
Do you have the Jets tonight?
I have the Jets tonight.
Yeah,
it will either be a great day or a slightly above average day. I had a lot of bets today. Some good reads, some bad reads. I lost a lot on the Commanders total on the over. I lost a fairly decent sized bet on the Vikings as well. Trying to think of what else. I lost a small bet on the Dolphins, which was infuriating. But I think that's it for pre-market bets that I made. Got lucky with the Seahawks. I played them well before they're both starting corners were ruled out. Thought just that was a good price at the time. Evidently it wasn't. Got lucky in the London game with the over, which needed the touchdown at the end there. But you know what? I was live on air trying not to sweat it. That was fun. Played some Bengals, played some Eagles under, played some Chiefs, played Raiders live. Yeah, it was good today. It was a good day to me, but the Jets would cap off a nice day.
The Vikings would have made it a great day for me.
Yeah. Let's start with that game.
Sure.
Because it was 10-0 Vikings early on. And I almost made the mistake of the old premature tweet. I almost did. Because Goff looked like deer in the headlights in the early going. It looked like it was going to be a real struggle. And then they just flipped the switch. And, Flores is a great DC. He is. He's a really good DC. But Detroit owns it. Ben Johnson owns Brian Flores. Absolutely.
He can coach against the blitz, and he blitzed. Flores blitzed, I think, 53% of the time or something today, and Goff just ate it up.
Yeah, they have receivers that can win one-on-one on the outside, and he's getting the ball out quickly. I don't know. It was just it was a frustrating watch. Let's put it that way. But Detroit is really good. And like I hate betting against the Lions unless I feel like I have a valuable spot. And evidently it just wasn't it. But that final drive that the Vikings had was such a lame drive. I'll call it lame.
Lame's
Run, 3rd and 5 pass. I felt like there was a shot. I really did. But such is life.
It felt like a playing not to lose drive, like just no life to it at all. We're just going to hand it off twice, run some clock, and hopefully find a way to get a first down. Meanwhile, you haven't stopped the Lions all fucking day,
Yeah,
all day.
I know.
So I didn't like that from O'Connell.
It was honestly, if you were to just look at the box score and just hide both teams' names, you would have no idea who won the game because the stats were like so incredibly even. Detroit outgained Minnesota by 8 yards. Yards per play, Minnesota slightly ahead of them. EPA pretty similar as well. Just a really even game overall. But what are you going to do? That's life.
I thought with the extra week that Flores would have game planned a little bit more specifically, not to throw as much blitz, not so much cover zero bullshit, and he just didn't. And in the second half, they didn't really change anything from the first half. Like, not a ton. Darnold was okay.
Yeah. Darnold listen, that the throw that Brian Branch picked him on was brutal because Aaron Jones was wide open in the flat. No one near him. And I really thought he was going to go there, and he went to the opposite side of the field.
I was so disappointed when he didn't actually hand off that ball because there was such daylight on that side of the field.
Yeah. I'll just comment to this quickly because I feel the need to. I did very well pregame today. I mean, I lost the best bet again on Forward Progress, but I had a very good pregame day. I also had a good live day, but like live, you're right. I mean, you're right. It's very hard for me to give out live positions, and you just got to bet them in real time. I happen to be, oddly enough, Simon Hunter accused me of, living in a basement. I am living in a basement right now because my house was in an open house today. People walking through here. So I had my laptop in front of me all day, and there was a lot of quarterback injuries where there was some live opportunities, I will say. So anyways, but you're right. I won't victory lap those anymore. That's fine. I can appreciate that call out. By the way, Blue Jays, appreciate the donation as well. Sweats.
Was that the move in Canada? You guys do the Sunday open house too?
So because this weekend was very nice weather-wise, Saturday, Sunday. So my agent said, let's just do an open house, get out of the house for the weekend, and I'll run it type of thing. I said, yeah, no problem. And there was a lot of foot traffic through, so I'm happy about that. I'll just do a quick countdown to the play clock. We'll watch a little bit of this, and then we'll start getting into next week and discussing this week a little bit more. Play clock I see is at 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, and the snap is off. And it's a first down carry. I would probably have bet a ton on the first down carry. Yeah. Lord McD, I see you, man. I love you. Honestly, I need people to keep me in check. It's only fair. It's only fair because I would roast somebody else if they just went on a stream afterwards and said I had an amazing day because of all the live bets. So I appreciate when the nails keep me in check. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's totally fair. Listen, if you're going to give it like I do, got to be able to take it as well. How are we on sync, me and you, Clive?
I got you by about 3 seconds. So
you saw
just slightly ahead.
Yeah, in the flat here. All right. Okay, before we get into next week's games, just a few things that I wanted to talk about. I was kind of like victory lapping KC on Twitter, which there's a lot of things that went against San Fran today. Deebo Samuel was sick, played 4 snaps. Brandon Ayuk, very likely, according to the coaching staff, they fear an ACL injury. So they had no receiving core. And at one point to start the third quarter, by the way, I had a live bet on the Chiefs once I saw all those injuries, Lord McD as well. So I was pretty invested on the Chiefs today. But there was a time where I'm like, oh, I've made a big mistake. And then biggest thing to go against San Fran today is listen, I mean, Purdy's been getting pressured all year long. Today, the pressure he succumbed to it. He did. He absolutely. But I mean, the cases people will make to bet against Mahomes in games where he just needs to win, I truly don't understand it. Actually, I do, because I made the same exact mistakes in life doing the same thing against Tom Brady. And I got to a point where I'm like, I'm going to not do this anymore. And I think like the market just came in so heavily on the 49ers today. And I'm like, what am I missing here? But it is very serious for all you people out there. If you bet against Mahomes as a dog, you need to take a break. You got no mojo right now. Call in sick to work tomorrow. Don't show up because you don't want to say something dumb in front of your fellow employees. If you're with your wife or your girlfriend, tell them there will be no sex tonight. You can't perform. You can't get it up. You lost your mojo. Take the night off. Take tomorrow off. Move on.
Yeah, you're done. You're just done. Go to bed. Just call it. You're done.
Yeah.
Get GRP on the stream. I don't know if he knows how to run the internet and do a video that's not on his phone.
It would be too tough. It would be too tough to do so. Big third down here for the Steelers on the first drive. So they've driven it down the field. They had the one reception. Najee Harris with a couple big gains. Jets' run defense has been pretty suspect. You'd think that with this Steelers O-line, the Jets would be able to hold up, but so far, not so much. Let's see what we got here.
Standard little throwaway.
Yep. That's what Tomlin wants, man.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want him to make the big mistake. Just doesn't want him to make the big mistake. All right. Let's get started on next week. Thursday night football. Let me pull up my BetStamp Pro odds screen here really quickly. And we're going to see what we got coming up. Thursday night football is going to be Vikings on the road at the Rams. -3, -118 at Fanduel. Total in the game is 46.5. This is likely. I want to say likely that we're going to get Cooper Kupp back in this game. Feels like they held him out today because it was the Raiders and they are expecting him to play next week. I didn't see any major injuries for the Vikings. I saw Kobe Durant, corner for the Rams, got hurt. But aside from that, didn't really see much. What's your first take here? The Flores scheme, to me, seems like it could be disastrous for Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford didn't look good from what I saw today again either. I mean, obviously, if he can get Cooper Kupp back, that's obviously a big get for them. But I don't downgrade the Vikings off of today. I might downgrade the Rams a little bit, but not really. It's just not. I don't feel like much has changed. So this kind of feels like it's on the number for me. I'm thinking about the total.
Yeah, in the sense that you think it's a little bit low.
I do, but I'm also thinking in the sense of, I think we talked about this last week with the Panthers and the Commanders, where I thought that the Commanders would hold up their end of the bargain, and they were even able to do that today with Mariota, but I wondered that the Panthers would not. So I'm almost thinking of it that way again, where the total's probably the right number, but I could see the Rams not holding up their end of the bargain. So maybe I would play the Vikings team total over.
That's kind of the way I looked at it as well. The Rams defense played a lot better today, and they're at full health. So I do think that the Rams defense, while still bad, is probably underrated in market just a little bit. But I do think the Vikings O-line will bully them a little bit. It's a tough game for me, honestly. My gut inclination is that this feels kind of right. I thought maybe we'd see like a Minnesota 3.5 plus 100 and not, 3 minus 120. But yeah, I agree with you. There's like not much that changed today. Minnesota played a very even game against Detroit. I don't think you upgrade them or downgrade them much off of that. And the Rams beat a very bad Raiders team, and they're going to get Cooper Kupp back next week, which is going to just change their offense in a very big way. Subjectively, nothing here for me either. Okay, game. Let's move on. There's no London game next week, which is nice.
When's the Panthers-Giants game? Is it the following week?
Yeah, I think so. It's Germany, right? That they're playing.
Germany, yep.
But there's no, I don't see a 9 a.m. game next week, which is great. Rotation number order, we got Titans at Lions next week. Wow. Early market here is Fanduel's at Lions minus 10.5, minus 115. 45.5 is the total in this game. Obviously, the Titans are getting downgraded in market. And I think Detroit, by virtue of winning on the road at Minnesota, is also getting upgraded at the same time. I talked about the shitty QB teams a little bit this morning on Pizza Buffet, and the view that the point spread is inflated, but like wanting to back these teams. And I don't get it. Browns, Panthers, Titans today as well. Like, these guys can't move the ball. Tennessee can't move the ball. I don't want to say that they're unbettable. I think every team is bettable, but you need to get a price that is absurd to back these shit teams, in my opinion.
There's your first look to Devontae.
Drop. It was a shit pass. It could have been
a garbage pass.
It was a garbage pass. It could have been caught. Yeah, I mean, from an injury perspective, Titans lost their right tackle, Jalen Duncan, today. They were missing L'Jarius Sneed, and that was a late scratch. They'd probably get him back next week. I'm sure there will be like a million situational angles and trends that will point to betting the Titans in this spot. I really don't care. I mean, I don't have interest.
I think this is a relatively good number, probably about. I do think the market overreacted to Mason Rudolph being announced as a starter a little bit. I mean,
well, even the chat, I think it is, James says Titans with Rudolph better than Levis. I don't know that that's the case. Rudolph sucks. He was terrible today too. The Titans had 4.2 yards per play against Buffalo, and they were trailing for most of the game today. They had a 39% success rate. They can't move the ball with either quarterback. I don't think it matters.
Oof.
Big sack on Rodgers. Larry Ogunjobi. Well,
wow.
Well, it's a good start for the Steelers. It's good.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Levis INT is a guarantee, though. Yeah, but like Levis takes some shots downfield. You know how easy it is to defend Mason Rudolph right now? They have nothing. I don't know. The team just sucks.
Levis has just like the galaxy brain shit. Like, in a lot of his shorter and intermediate routes, he is relatively accurate, but he's just a mental midget and he takes too many sacks. So, yeah. I mean, he's got upside. Mason Rudolph doesn't have any of that upside. You just hope that Rudolph's not going to kill you, but he's not going to move the ball. So if you can't run the ball, like if they have Derrick Henry in his prime, maybe that's a little bit of a different story, but they have no way of moving the ball right now.
I mean, intuitively, the 45.5 at FanDuel seems low for a Lions home game, but I'm quickly looking at Titans' final scores this year. They have not gone over 44 points in a single game this season. 41, 41, 44, 43, 37, 44. They can't score. I think this is the second. I think we're 2 for 2 in games that I don't have a lot of interest in right now.
Yeah, this might be a Lions alt number. Like, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to end up betting this game. Kind of in no man's land on the number. Baltimore Cleveland is next on the rotation number order. Baltimore obviously plays tomorrow night. They are a 10-point favorite on the road at Cleveland. The total's 42.5. We don't know the result of the Baltimore game yet, but they're going to be on a short week, divisional road game. And it seems like there's a high chance of Jameis for the Browns. I don't know how I'm not going to take the Browns at +10. In fact, I think it should be bet right now. I hope it's not DTR, because Jameis was an emergency quarterback today, by the way. Jameis was like, DTR was the backup. So I feel like there's a chance that if DTR is fine, they go to him because Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles. He's done for the year.
I think his career is over.
Like if it's DTR, I almost want to lay 10 with Baltimore. If it's Jameis, I want the 10 immediately. Even throw me some Cleveland money line in some sort of like crazy scenario. I think I don't want to make it seem like Jameis is a great quarterback. This is not what I'm trying to say, people. I don't think Jameis is a good quarterback at all. I think the difference between him and the other quarterbacks on that roster is larger than people think.
You might have had two of the worst, call 40 quarterbacks. 39 and 40 might be in Cleveland. And 38 is Bryce Young.
Yeah.
Jameis is high variance. Beat gamer, you're right.
Sure.
Like that is 100% true. But he can move the ball and he can throw the ball downfield a little bit. He'll do some galaxy brain shit too. But
of course,
he can at least move the football.
They cannot, like Deshaun. I actually didn't think I could see worse than Deshaun Watson until DTR came in the game, and I was thinking, I'm like, I don't know that this is an upgrade. I really don't. Those guys are terrible quarterbacks, terrible through and through. Like this is back-to-back weeks now where they had home games against the Eagles defense and the Bengals defense, and they could not move the ball whatsoever. Was that a dump off to Jalen Warren there? It was.
Yes.
Okay, we got one Warren reception. We're in business. We're in business.
I got excited for about 30 seconds when DTR was running the ball because I thought, all right, well, maybe they can move the ball this way. But then the rest of the game was just absolute garbage.
Yeah. Yeah. I listen. I mean, I'm just this number. We haven't seen Baltimore play. I mean, there's 10.5s out there right now in market. I believe that if Jameis plays, the 10.5 is an extremely valuable number. Extremely.
Do you think the 42.5 is high?
High?
No, I have it as a hair high, but
no.
But I'm also thinking that DTR would play.
I would see that. I don't know. I mean, that seems really low for a Baltimore game. 42.5. 42.5 seems low to a Baltimore game. It looked like an incomplete pass.
Just a drop.
Just a drop. Yeah. Just quickly looking at Baltimore's numbers for this year. I mean, Baltimore hasn't played a game with less than 45 points this year because they score on everyone. And listen, it's the Browns D, but Baltimore's going to score in that game.
Yeah,
Baltimore's.
I don't remember what their games were like last year. So Cleveland, Baltimore.
Yeah. Okay. We'll keep it moving along here because we've got a lot of games to get through as the Steelers are going to punt upcoming here. The Jags return home off the 2-game London trip to take on the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay is laying 4.5 in Jacksonville. Total in the game, 48.5 at Fanduel. We have some 48s out there. We have some 49s out there. A little bit all over the place. Okay, so got stuck on a very small bet on a shit number on Houston today. Lucky to cash it. Game landed on a key number of 2 in the game. So I lucky. We talked about this game, Green Bay, Houston, last Sunday night. I said I would like Houston. Probably had to wait on some injuries. I thought they were going to get bet. Anyways, premature wager on my end. Got lucky. Fully lucky. Green Bay turned the ball over 3 times today. Still won the game. Houston's offense in shambles. This feels to me, subjectively, like an over game. The left tackle for Jacksonville, Cam Robinson, got hurt today. But the Jags defense is terrible. And I feel like this is a great time to sell the Packers defense.
It kind of seems that way. I have a lot more interest in the over than I do on the side. But I think this gets bet up unless some No, I can't see why this wouldn't get bet up.
You like the Packers getting bet up?
No, the total.
The total. Well, here's the thing. So let's talk from just pure market dynamics. The high totals seem to, I mean, Green Bay, Houston did get bet over this week, but for the most part, the high totals tend to take under money, and vice versa this season.
That's true. I mean, Carolina, Washington, that number went down. Seattle and Atlanta, did that go up or did that stay at around 51.5? I don't remember what that opened at.
It went way up, that one. It opened lower. I think we were talking about it like 49 last Sunday night.
Yeah, Vikings, Detroit got bet down a hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good point. Chiefs, 49ers got bet up slightly. Maybe that's another spot for a Green Bay team total over, and Jacksonville could just lay another egg. I mean, I could see that happening too, because
Yeah.
I don't think they looked particularly great in their second England game.
See, the only problem that I have in my head is that Green Bay's offense, perception versus reality are very different. Because Green Bay this year, offensively, forget about the Malik Willis games. I'm not even really counting those. But again, they played a Texans defense today without 4 starters in the back 7. Starting corner, starting safety, 2 starting linebackers. And they didn't move it. Like it's not consistent. And in the past, they would have more boom plays than they've had this year, but 40% success rate, the 3 turnovers, like they're struggling to move the ball. And it just feels to me, though, that like the Jacksonville defense is like the elixir for any
ailing offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
And I mean, here's the other thing. Separate point, personal foul. What happened here? Helmet to helmet? I didn't see.
I think he threw him down to the ground really hard. Ogunjobi grabbed Breece Hall, and I think he tossed him pretty hard to the ground. I mean, Daniel says this game's a tough watch already.
God, he tried to rip his head off.
Yeah. Not surprising. I mean, it is kind of soft. I will like I don't have the luxury of hearing the whistle, so I don't know how late that was. This is yet another game where I don't know what I want to do immediately. I think both of these teams are going to be somewhat overrated off of their wins this week. I don't like Jacksonville.
A little dump off.
I don't like Green Bay. I don't really like either of these teams and would hope that they didn't play each other next week, but they do.
Well, I think the best thing that could happen to Jacksonville is that ETN is out again with his hamstring, because Bixby is a completely different runner than good old Travis over there, because at least he's got some signs of life, and he really makes that offense look a little bit better.
Yep. Completely agree with you there. Gonna have to wait on this one. Again, I could see a lot of big plays in this game, but I want to see if Cam Robinson's going to play at left tackle for Jacksonville.
Because with his first catch.
There we go. So far, we've been seeing left tackles getting injured, and the offense is not looking very good without them. Keep it going here. Next game on the board is the Colts at the Texans. Houston opens 5.5-point favorite at Fanduel, as high as 6.5 at some other books out there right now. Total in the game 46.5. And we do have some higher totals, so Fanduel's pretty low on that number as well. Injuries to discuss. Jonathan Taylor, probably a decent chance to be back next week for the Colts. And you have 4 starters out on defense for the Texans that have a potential to be back next week as well. I watched a lot of Indy Miami today.
Sorry about that.
The Colts. People are fixated on like the Chiefs being a luck box team. I don't know if anyone saw the Colts today, but that was an absolute joke of a game. Their offense sucked, was horrible. 36% success rate. Anthony Richardson stinks. They benefited from 2 rushing fumbles from Miami, a missed field goal from Miami, and that's not a very good Miami team. Let's call it out for what it is. Now, with that said,
That's a clear first down.
yeah, Houston has had they've owned Indy as of late, like under D'Amico Ryans, right? Last year, they beat them to get in the playoffs. They played early this year, did they not? I feel like I'm missing like one of the early games this season.
Did they
it
play
was
week
like
2?
Week
No, week
1.
1. They played opening week.
Oh, yes. And the Colts covered the +3, even though they were basically out of it the whole game.
Yes.
29-27 was that game.
Richardson had that huge deep ball. He had a couple big plays that game. I remember. Ish. He's terrible, by the way. He's really not a good quarterback. I'm not saying he doesn't have potential, but right now he's just really, 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 really bad.
I'm with you. Man, Houston's offense today was atrocious. Like 55 net yards passing, 3.4 yards per play. You know, they had a lot of similarities on the offense last year where they weren't like super highly successful on a down-to-down basis, but they had these explosive plays to bail them out. They don't have that anymore. My immediate gut feeling was that I wanted to play the under in this game. I just don't like that it's on the fast track in Houston. And I don't
How much
like the
confidence can you have in the
defensive
Colts defense? Yeah.
Well, the Colts defense, I actually feel better about them.
I know they got healthier, right? Like,
yeah. I feel like metrics. What you look at all the metrics for the Colts defense, you're going to say this is terrible defense, and they are. They're not great, but they were missing Kenny Moore for a lot of the season. That matters when you're down your slot corner. Sam Womack was hurt for a little bit. Julian Blackmon in and out. I mean, they still have DeForest Buckner, I think, can return next week. I believe he's eligible to return. So there's a lot.
The Texans look this week the way that I thought they would look last week. I just, for whatever reason, it was a week late, and that reason was the New England Patriots defense, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to trust Houston to score, so this feels more underish than I would have played in week 1, like, or week 2. Like looking at these two teams.
Yeah, I do want to take a look at the splits, and that's always important when you look at indie games because Gus Bradley has a very predictable cover 3 defense. It looks like we're in the end zone here.
Touchdown Brees.
Yeah. He's in there. Good drive.
Yeah, very
right down the field. Right down the field. Brees Hall was big on that drive overall. Fuck, man. I'm just going to pull up the cover 3 numbers really quickly here and try not to freeze my computer while doing so. Schemes. Producer Jason might have to step in if I'm toast, which he'll love to do for sure. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, let's not do that again. We'll look into it a little bit deeper this week, but Houston cover 3. I mean, Stroud's been terrible against cover 3 this year. 37% success rate going into today, minus 0.18 EPA.
What percentage of his plays were against cover 3, roughly?
That I can't pull up easily, but it would be the most. Like, it'll be the highest sample because most teams play cover 3. Even last year, 47% cover 3 was fine, but it was lower than some other coverages. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to dig into that one a little bit more. This is just, I mean, poor Noops. Poor Noops lost first touchdown.
This is not his season for first touchdowns.
Very tough. Poor Noops. Very curious what you guys think on these games as well in the chat. You can always drop your thoughts in here. But so far, other than the early Cleveland number, haven't seen a lot that stands out to me in the early going. Arizona is going to Miami next week. I wonder if this one is even going to be lined in the early going because, I mean, Fanduel has a lineup of Miami 3, 47.5. It's basically only available at like a quarter of the books across the screen right now. They said Tua has a chance to play in this game.
And do they push even more with Huntley getting hurt this week? I mean,
yeah, because it's like Skylar Thompson was out of the lineup. It was Tim Boyle today. Like
yeah.
Everything that can go right for the Colts somehow goes right for the Colts every game. I don't really know how it happens. I really don't know. It's priced like a Tua line, but the total, in my opinion, well, here's the only problem, right? I agree that the total is low if Tua's in. I think this is going to get bet up because.
Yeah, it feels like a questionable Tua line, meaning like.
Yeah.
This shoots past 3 if 2 is playing.
I think like as soon as he's announced in, you get Miami and over money.
Near instantly. Not near instantly. Instantly. It's just I don't know how high the total goes with Tua coming back.
Yeah.
Off of this break.
Yeah. No, it's not like Arizona's bad as well. So let me see what Miami was priced at in week 1 of the season, market rankings wise. They were like a 2 in market, roughly
2 to 2.5. Yes.
Yep. Yeah. And Arizona week 1. I mean, Arizona for most of the year has been priced as like a -1.5. So it is not a Tua line. It's like an in between. You probably would see something like 4.5, 5. Lord McD says Tua look ahead was 6.5. I think that's too high. And you also have this thing with the first game with quarterbacks back in the lineup as well, where they historically play much lower than their rating. But I don't hate the idea of like trying to find yourself a middle here. It seems pretty likely that he's going to be back there next week. And there's some 2.5 -110 out there, pretty widely available.
Yeah, this feels like a pretty decent spot to speculate a little bit and and bet this early. Especially because I see a 46.5 out there too.
Yeah. The problem is Miami is so dead without him. Like they're actually a dead team. They can't move the ball.
Good old Timmy. He's not that good.
He's not that good. I mean, he's terrible.
Yeah. I really would have liked to have seen them gotten Ryan Tannehill at some point just to see what he could have done with that offense.
I know. You know, I'm just going to give like a little random Mike McDaniel rant right now because he's going to get sewered again in the media today. I've heard all the comparisons of McDaniel to Staley so far, right? And like the guy, they're like, oh, coming out of the bye week, they should have had like more of a downfield pass. Their quarterbacks suck. What do you want them to do? Yeah. They finally ran the ball successfully today. And then Mostert fumbles, Alec Ingold fumbles. Like, at what point do you just say the guy is working with dogs? Okay, yeah, Tyreek Hill wasn't targeted or whatever early in the like Jalen Waddle. These guys aren't catching passes. They don't have anything at quarterback. Huntley sucks. Tim Boyle sucks. Skylar Thompson sucks. These guys all suck. I don't even think Tua's good
at all.
I don't even think Tua is good, but he's so much better than these guys. It's not even remotely close.
He fits that offense really well. And listen, I don't know if G-Stack's watching right now. I still don't think Tua is a great quarterback, but he at least understands that offense really well. He gets the ball out relatively quickly, and he knows where his receivers are going to be, and the offense moves. There's none of that with Huntley, Skylar Thompson, or Tim Boyle. Like, it's just really, really bad. They are probably replacement level quarterbacks. Like,
yeah. I mean, listen, I get how can he not get Hill in the game? The game plan was very simple. It was we're going to come out and we're going to run on the Colts. And they did that fairly successfully. They had almost 200 net yards rushing today. They had a 44% success rate. I get it, but like at some point, shit quarterbacks don't just turn into great quarterbacks or even average quarterbacks because they have good receivers. If you're trash, you're trash. There's only so much you can do. Mason Rudolph he doesn't just turn over into a good player because he can throw to Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins. It doesn't. These guys just suck, is what it is.
And Tyreek Hill is not Justin Jefferson, where you can just throw the ball up to him and expect him to make a play either. He's a different type of elite receiver.
But this is my whole argument, right? Why is he calling for Ingold to get 4th and 1 touches with the playmakers they have? Because the exact opposite was exactly what he was getting roasted for the past 2 or 3 weeks, which is they're getting too cute on offense. Just simplify it, dumb it. The guy can't win. The guy can't win. That's all I'm getting at. All right. Next game. Again, Tampa Bay is playing tomorrow night, so we don't have a lot of clarity on what's going to happen there, but they're hosting the Atlanta Falcons.
2.5.
2.5. And what's that?
Yeah.
I'm blind. I'm blind as a bat. So we got 48.5 at FanDuel. Atlanta had one of those games today. They just had that game. The game that I expected Atlanta to have, but not against a team that was depleted in the secondary. It's actually weird. Look at this box score. Atlanta had a 53% success rate on offense, 73.3 series conversion rate. They only scored 14 points. They had 3 turnovers. Turnovers did them in, basically. A couple weeks ago when these teams played, Atlanta got very lucky to pull out the victory. Excuse me. Atlanta? Who won that game? Yeah, Atlanta did.
Atlanta, yeah.
In overtime.
Was it overtime or was it a very late field goal? I don't remember, actually, now that you mentioned
it. It was overtime because we cashed the Kadarrell Hodge anytime touchdown score in overtime.
Okay.
I feel like this line is fine. I kind of just want to see what happens with Tampa tomorrow night. It's not
some over Ravens team total tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that defense is going to get skewered.
It's interesting to me that Tampa is being priced as better than Atlanta in this game. And they're going to be on a short week as well.
Does anybody know what the look ahead line was? Did this adjust off of Atlanta's game today?
They must have been downgraded in market. And I don't know that they necessarily. I mean, the problem with Atlanta is they fucking have zero pass rush. Zero pass rush. They cannot get home. Matthew Judon, what a bust bring him in the offseason. I mean, it's not just him, it's the entire defense, but they cannot get pressure.
Yeah. I think we talked about this last week where it feels like everything is really kind of compressed in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay was -1.5 look ahead. That makes sense. That's what I would have expected. I would have expected them to be roughly, market equal.
Yeah.
I just don't even when I look at Cincinnati, the Jets, Houston, even they, I think, are probably overrated a little bit in the market, a little bit. That middle 15 teams, they're all so tight. And I don't think Atlanta's very good at all, but I don't think Tampa's good either.
Yeah. No opinion on this, honestly, early going. I again, it's another game where my feel is towards the over in the game, but it's priced, I think, somewhat appropriately at 48.5. Okay. Keep it going. We're through about half the games. We got Chicago coming off the bye at Washington next week. Let's see if we have prices up. So this is not lined at FanDuel right now. I only see it up in a couple spots, and I see Washington 1.5, total 47. Obviously, we're going to have to wait and see what happens with Jaden Daniels in this game. And if he doesn't play, where it reopens with Mariota, Daniels seems like a rib injury, but he's like when he came back onto the field, he's like giving it. It's like he walked the entire sidelines, giving everyone a thumbs up, like he's going to be okay. Their left tackle got hurt today, Brandon Coleman. One to keep an eye out for. Dorrance Armstrong was out on the defensive line this week. They might get him back. Really, really hard to say anything here other than that. Mariota looked very good against Carolina. They literally he had all the time in the world in the pocket.
Yeah, but who doesn't, right? Like,
yeah. So we're not going to learn anything from that. And the Bears defense is like, they'll eat Mariota. Eat him.
I feel like this is priced like they're expecting Daniels to play.
Yeah.
In market completely. Like, I think this was probably the look ahead line, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think they kept him out as an abundance of caution because it was the Panthers, and why would you put him back on the field when you don't have to?
Right.
But the Bears defense has been pretty good the last pretty much all season. Have they really had a good defensive test? I mean, they had the Ravens.
Yeah.
And the Ravens defense I find middling. This might be test.
Listen, at the end of the day, you got to root for Jaden Daniels to play because this is the Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams game. I hate to say it, but I mean, I've been on Washington steady now for weeks. I didn't bet Washington today. In fairness, I just used them in stale line pools. So I didn't bet them. But one of these teams has a defense and the other doesn't. And that's going to be the biggest difference. Like, we have seen Chicago continuously now over and over play teams with bad defenses, and like Jacksonville and Carolina before the bye, and the offense is getting better and better and better because they can roll three wide. And what is Russell Wilson doing, man? This guy is...
I was just laughing. I want to let you finish the thought. How look at Tomlin's face? Like, you chose this, Tomlin. Like,
yeah.
At least Justin Fields can move the ball with his legs.
Right.
I don't get this. I don't get this at all.
I mean, neither do I. I'll watch the third down here. I'm not expecting... I don't think Russ will ever move the ball consistently unless it's scripted or garbage time. And that was ugly too.
Or flag
Here
football.
come the boost. Yep. Guy, I mean, he's cooked. Yeah, there's nothing we can really do here early.
In your head, yes, at Tomlin. Like, what is good about that? Is it I'm a moron? Like,
Yep. Legit looked like one of us. Totally agree. I'll take a contract to throw the ball into the dirt as well. I might even be taller than Russ. How tall is Russ?
I think he's 5'11".
Yeah, I'm taller than Russ. I'll hang back there. Throw some screen passes.
Russ, go play baseball. You're done here.
Jeez, that was tough. Okay, Jets, who are in action right now, are going out on the road at New England. New England returning from London. Before I even look at the line, I'm going to guess this is priced around a touchdown or so. Jets -6.5, -115 at Fanduel. 40.5 is the total. Like, we saw a similar situation a few weeks ago, last week. New England at home to Houston. New England is they're bordering on dead team for me right now. I know they went to Drake May and I like May better, but Gerard Mayo is not cut out for this. He's not cut out for this league.
No, he's Antonio Pierce Part 2, like the second coming.
Yeah, it really is. More injuries today. I don't even know that Demario Douglas got hurt. Jalen Polk got hurt. They have like 6 average wide receivers there. Their left tackle, Vidarian Lowe, still out. They just don't have an O-line. Like, when we saw these teams play, I'll tell you what is interesting, though. New England went to the Jets on Thursday Night Football. They closed at 6.5 point dogs in that game. They'll be priced at home as a bigger underdog. So there's definitely been like some market movement, but it's just getting into the position of, do I want to bet a bad team at this price? And the answer is no. I need more. I need more to bet New England at this point.
Yeah. I think May has shown some decent signs of being able to move the ball, which is nice. It's fun to have another quarterback in the league that can throw a little and can move the ball with his legs if he has to. But the Patriots just look lifeless, like you said, especially on defense. But I mean, the Jets aren't necessarily world beaters either in terms of what they're doing with their offense. So that's what kind of makes it interesting to me to, like, if you give me 7 with the Patriots, I think from a numbers perspective, something I feel like I would have interest in.
I think the best look in this game will end up being Jets team total over. I mean, the Jets still play pretty slow, so that's annoying at all times. But the Patriots defense is useless right now. Like, they're just getting carved by every team that they play at this. I mean, they made the Jacksonville offense that was struggling look great today. Previous to that, they played Houston, whose offense, wasn't very good. They're looking good. I think that's going to be the best look, because I actually don't trust the Patriots O-line to hold up enough for the game over, as much as I think Drake May's better than Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking maybe a Pats team total under myself.
Hmm.
All right, Adams. What's that, catch number 2?
Yeah, just short of the first down marker there.
Oh, 4th and 1.
Yeah. Okay. Keep it moving on here. Ooh,
I'd love to see another good AFC East team to kind of compete with Buffalo and make it interesting,
Yeah. Yeah, so would I, honestly, but I also
I don't think it's going to be the Jets, if I'm being honest, though.
Well, I like rooting for the Jets to fail. They failed for so long. Why do they have to succeed?
Keep their fans miserable. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Dude, this punter looked like he held that ball for so long there before getting it off. Okay. Bills going out on the road on the West Coast to take on the Seattle Seahawks.
This is an interesting number.
Buffalo -3, -104 away from home. Most of the board is 3s. Total is 48.5. I'm actually surprised it opened 3.
Where were you thinking it would open?
Under 3. It's not to say that I want Seattle in this game. I'm just surprised that it opened 3. Digging into the box score really quickly here from today. Buffalo, 7.2 yards per play. Pretty dominant game. Terrell Bernard got injured. Dorian Williams got injured. So 2 injuries in their linebacking core for the Bills today. Seattle played today's game without both starting corners. DK Metcalf got hurt. He got carted off. Geno Smith with a 12.3 ADOT today. Just chucking it all over Atlanta's defense.
Well, to your point, right? Like, they had very little pass rush. He was able to move around when he had to, and he had plenty of time to find whoever he wanted downfield.
Yeah, this is going to be different, though, because with DK hurt, they don't have the receivers to separate from the Bills' corners. I like the under in this game a little bit. Thinking about it, I think the total is a little bit too high for what I think is going to be a heavy run script for both of these teams.
So that's what I was just going to say. Buffalo, whenever they get a chance, or if they do get a lead and they can run the ball, they want to run the ball. So from like a pace perspective, I don't expect this to be, flung around the field. I think there will be a lot of running the football, and I think there's going to be, longer drives. And Buffalo's defense has been sneaky good too. Decent.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got an outdoor game for Geno behind a bad offensive line. Arthur says it in the chat. Bills D-line can get after bad O-lines. We've seen that this year with Geno struggling behind bad O-line. They 48.5 Fanduel to me is, in my opinion, too high. And you have the upside of potentially getting the starting corners back for Seattle.
Yeah. Russell Wilson, a bust 1 of 7.
Yeah, that's not surprising whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, my early look there would probably be the under. The side's kind of interesting, though. If Buffalo really wanted to kind of throw the ball and be aggressive in this game, I feel like I have some interest in Buffalo alts.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Seattle still is a very challenging team for me to figure out, to be completely honest.
Very inconsistent.
Shadow Slayer says, who is the one betting these at Penny? The moment Rob says anything, show yourself. I mean, could just be me manipulating the market, right? Just hold those numbers in place for the next 3 days, right? Come back the other way on Tuesday or Wednesday. Who knows?
This is an easy game when you have
could be some early manipulation. Okay, keep it moving along here. We got 12 minutes to go in the second quarter. Saints coming off a very embarrassing loss on Thursday Night Football at home. Go out on the road to take on the Chargers.
That was so ugly, that game. That Saints, I mean.
Oh, yeah. That was like, I in hindsight, again, it feels like everything is an easy handicap when you're handicapping it. And then when the result goes your way, you get your confirmation bias of this was an easy handicap. I just don't really know what, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, what were the Saints going to do offensively? Oh, did he catch that?
He did.
Man. Defender was right there too. Damn.
So it's weird. One of the things I was thinking today when you were on Pizza Buffet earlier was I like almost the reverse Pickens where it's under in receptions and over in yards.
Eccles was, I mean, that's an amazing catch. Let's call it out for what it is. It's one hand pulling it into his body. I mean, it could have easily been PI too.
It looked like the ref reached for his belt and then he caught it, so he just left it alone.
Let it go. Well, we need some Russ yards for the alternate, the 200 plus.
Russ cooking.
Okay, so this is the Widowmaker spot, as Whale Capper has coined it, because the Chargers are going to be on short rest against the Saints on long rest. Chargers are 7.5. We haven't even seen them play.
Who's playing quarterback for Saints next week?
That's another good question. I mean, Rattler is trash. We saw Jake Hayner come in to that game. And Jake Hayner, whatever. Like, I have no opinion. I mean, this is just ugly. This is just an ugly one. The wheels have fallen off the Saints. They just have so many injuries. I mean,
I want to say this total feels high, but with the Saints defense playing as poorly as they are too, maybe it's not.
Well, we know for sure Rashid Shaheed is out. Chris Olave has a chance. Their right guard, Cesar Ruiz, has a chance. Their left guard got injured last game. Nick Saldiveri. They've had some injuries on defense. Lattimore got hurt. Pete Warner was out. It does feel like a team that will get Taysom could be back. It does feel like a team that could get a big uptick just based off of personnel. Oh, like with the extra rest. You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah. I'm assuming they blew the whistle at some point there. I can't hear it.
Yeah, it had to be. Had to be blown.
Yeah, I mean that could be a spark for sure. And they need it. I mean they've been a dead team for a few weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't down.
No, but he's like giving up at that point.
Yeah, his forward progress has stopped.
Yeah,
No
it's
pun
done. It's
intended.
done. He's giving himself up, and I got to tell you,
Cook, Russ, Cook.
You know how much it tilts me to see the forward progress presented by Visa on Red Zone?
Oh, same. Yeah. Don't love that. Do we have a trademark thing that we can maybe kind of?
I don't know. I don't really want to fight the NFL. I don't really want to fight the NFL on this one.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Seems like a bad idea. Okay, Eagles and the Bengals. Early market is Bengals laying 2.5 at home. The total is 46.5. Now, of note today, Bengals left tackle Orlando Brown left the game, as did safety Geno Stone. On the Eagles side, Mekhi Becton, the right guard, got hurt. They already are without Jordan Mailata, their left tackle. So you got O-line injuries for both of these teams right now. I don't think I care, and I think that the total is too low in this game.
Okay.
And my argument is going to be that Cincinnati just played back-to-back road games at the Giants, at the Browns, kind of suppresses their offense a little bit. They're going back home. The Eagles give up explosives. I mean, I don't know. You know, the O-line injuries really do concern me because Burrow has some pretty large splits when pressured versus not. And you've seen that the last couple of weeks. And the Eagles are coming off a game today where they sacked Daniel Jones 8 times. I get it. So that concerns me. But
that was more on Daniel Jones too than the Eagles doing anything special.
But
on
both
defense,
these teams, the last 2 weeks have played Giants, Browns. And they're going to get huge downgrades in defense. At least, well, maybe not. Maybe the Eagles is better than I'm giving them credit for.
Do you really think that? Because I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. There's been too many times that these just got shredded.
And what about the trends of after a revenge game? You know, so Saquon had his revenge game today. Is there what's the opposite of bouncing back? Is this a fall down game?
I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you.
The Giants just put themselves in bad positions so much today that, I mean, Jalen Hurts made one relatively good throw to A.J. Brown, but I don't think he's looked good for weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really love that Eagles defense at all. And you are manipulating the market because the total just moved up a hair.
I got to give my honest opinions.
I just have way more interest in Cincinnati than I do the total.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That left tackle situation for them is a big one because Orlando Brown was having a very good year in pass protection. Could be a big loss if he's gone for a while. Cody, I don't make the numbers. Somebody else makes them and I just bet into them. That's the beauty. It's the beauty of the market. All right. Moving it along here. Chiefs hit the road to take on the Raiders. There's going to be the inflation in this price will be, okay. It's KC minus 10. Total in the game, 42.5. Listen, this is not like, these are not the types of games where I like to lay KC. I've made that very clear before. Few injuries today. Juju Smith-Schuster got hurt. Jalen Watson, their lesser-known corner, got hurt. Obviously, on the Raiders side, AOC broke his thumb. That means Gardner Minshew is going to play. That's an upgrade, in my opinion, despite how badly he played today. You have the chance of Jacoby Myers back. You have the chance of of Dylan Parham back on the offensive line. But God, the Raiders are just like they're so poorly coached, man. So
they
poorly
minimize
coached.
every drive possible. I mean, when they do such a great job of like being coached the worst that I could possibly imagine. How do you I was actually kind of surprised. I posted it in our chat in jest, like 4th and 3. Like I actually thought there was a shot they were going to kick the field goal at the end of the game there anyway before the false start.
I know.
Like I kind of thought that was on the table.
So of all the bad teams we've talked about so far, I haven't really been interested in enough in a number to bet any of them. This one I might have interest in. I might be willing to take a stance that this is too many points.
Well, it feels like it, and I mean, as much as you love Mahomes to absolutely just go out and figure out a way to win a game, they haven't been. Nice run, Breece Hall.
Hello, Breece.
Keep going. Don't let Minka get you. I think that was Minka.
Yeah, we got to get the Aaron Rodgers naked bootleg walking for a touchdown. That was huge.
He's going to need a breath.
Yeah.
I don't think the score today in San Francisco was indicative of Mahomes particularly playing great. Turnovers and 49ers have injury issues. I don't want to lay 10 with Mahomes right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not Mahomes. It's just like the lack of explosiveness of the offense is what it is for me. There's nothing downfield, right? It's everything underneath Kareem Hunt. It's methodical. And those aren't the teams that I want to bet to win by margin. I want Kansas City when they just have to win a game like today, right? Because but when they have to bully a team, I don't know that I do. I kind of wish AOC was playing because I would have some interest in the under in this game. My big concern is that you're going to get that Spags defense against Minshew, and that guy has been turning the ball over like crazy this year. They just don't have the offensive weapons, right? Like they trade Devontae Adams. There's Brock Bowers is the guy, but outside of that, they need Jacoby Myers back. They need him back.
How did Bowers play today? I didn't see
really well. I bet him over 5.5 receptions. I think he had it in like the second quarter. I'm not exaggerating. He was like, he was just getting targeted like crazy. Let me take a quick look at it. He got 14 targets today, 10 receptions, 93 yards is what happened.
Empty backfield.
Who is that?
I don't know who that was to.
Charles? Well, I didn't have him on the bingo card today. Irvin Charles. Indiana, PA, undrafted, 27-year-old.
Is he in?
I mean, his right knee is in.
Oh, the ball moved. I thought that ball was to Devontae.
Yeah. Irvin Charles. No, it's incomplete.
Yeah. Jets legend.
If someone actually has a Charles anytime touchdown ticket out, I mean, I'll be really impressed.
Yeah, show it. I will retweet it. I will see it. No, he's not there.
One time, let's get Aaron Rodgers. One time. Actually, no, I don't want to waste my one time on this.
Yeah,
I mean, it's 13-1, but it's not big enough to waste a one time.
Patrick Mahomes actually trucked somebody in this situation.
Oh my God, that was Mahomes. That run down the sideline as well. This is the thing. Like he just makes plays. He just makes plays. Is what? Yes. No, don't throw it.
I saw that before you did.
Don't throw it. That's where you got to walk it in and do the belt. Bah! Great play.
He
though.
was
Great play
so
call.
open that he had to throw it.
That was such a great fake. Such a great fake. I will say this about Mahomes.
Is he limping? Did he pull a hammy?
Hammy?
Was he gonna run it and then
Soft tissue?
what are you challenging? Oh, I guess that was the play before where we thought about challenging the Brees Hall and he was just late.
Well,
These coaches are so bad. Like, how just hire somebody to do this shit?
I agree. And the extra point is blocked.
Wait, are you gonna throw it, Porter?
I don't know what. It's got to be like a defensive offside or some sort of
I think
personal
so.
foul or something stupid like that. I'm watching Red Zone today, by the way. And listen, I will say, as much as I like Mahomes, the commentators love to slurp this guy's nuts for everything he does.
Yeah.
And it was Tom Brady doing that game today. He had a lot of high praise for Mahomes. He's like, listen, like there were some situations where he's like, listen, that's just a throwaway. He knows that the defender jumped the route. He's intentionally throwing it. He's like, that's a great play. You live to fight another down. I'd make the exact same play. I thought Brady was actually pretty decent today. But there was one play where Mahomes did like this little 5-yard shovel pass, and they were going nuts over this. They were like, oh, when do you ever see anyone break out a play like that? And it was in a split screen on Red Zone. And literally the next play in the Raiders game was Gardner Minshew making the same shovel pass under duress. And the commentator barely had a reaction in that game. It was hysterical.
Oh, that's pretty good. I'm sorry I missed that.
They're
calling Minka oh yeah. All right.
And Chosen is absolutely right. It was not only was it not like it wasn't a good shovel pass from Mahomes. It was too high and behind the receiver. Absolutely didn't need to do that. Hilarious though. All right, let's keep going here. We stopped at KC Las Vegas.
Gonna have an embolism.
Honestly, are we getting to the point now where the total's a little bit too low for a Mahomes game? Or are we going to have like the Andy Reid's not going to break out the good plays for this one?
I actually think it's more indicative of the Chiefs defense.
Yeah. Well.
Ooh, 2-point conversion.
Garrett Wilson. 15-6. It's like we drew it up.
This
you know what?
It's got scoregami potential.
Well, this is the score line that starts to match. This is like another Simon Hunter 2-key number game. This is like where if you bet the Jets at post, you get that 15-13. You know, you got to get the early numbers. That's why
you buy down the 2.5. You always buy down the 2.5.
You got to buy through that key number, of course. All right, keeping it moving. Panthers on the road at the Denver Broncos. You thought you'd seen it all.
Yeah.
You thought Bo Nix favored by 3 on the road was something. Well, now Bo Nix is favored by more than a touchdown because the Broncos are laying 7.5 at home. Total in the game is 41.5. Like, what do you even do at this point? The Panthers are not even fielding a real defense. It's a joke. There's nobody healthy. It's such a terrible
good teaser game.
I would agree.
So here's your 2 teaser games for next week. It's you can easily tease the Chargers and the Broncos. If I'll look for another one, but I mean, right there, those are 2 really good teaser games against 2 dead teams. Wow.
Like this isn't even. I can't even believe I have like no interest in Carolina, even above a touchdown. This is the classic moron game, I call it. Denver, New Orleans was a moron game because if you bet Bo Nix to win by a field goal and he doesn't, you're going to feel like a moron. And if you bet the Saints with all those injuries and they don't cover, you're also going to feel like a moron. This is a classic moron game, I would say. You're just sitting there and you're like, how the hell did I take Bo Nix to win by 8 points? Or you're like, how the hell did I take Carolina again?
So what's the number where you need to have interest in Carolina? 9.5, 10,
10. 10.
10.
I mean, listen, the reality is I think Carolina is the valuable side in this game at 7.5. I mean, Denver will probably get Patrick Surtain back from a concussion. He's had 10 days. He'll have 10 days now between this game. I think Carolina is the valuable side. It's just, it's hard. Like, I know my limitations when I model games. And sometimes you're just too slow to catch up to how bad a team is. And Dalton came in and he had that good game. And that like skews the model numbers for Carolina because they're not that. And the defense is just getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, Carolina, I don't remember a team ranked this low. I don't feel like anybody was this bad last year.
It's the worst
in market.
defense. It's the worst defense. I mean, granted, they gave up one of the touchdowns today was a pick six off of Dalton, where he threw it directly, a screen pass directly to the Panthers D lineman. But they couldn't stop Mariota from moving it down the field. And to make matters worse, the run defense is so bad. They just can't right now. I mean, I much prefer the side of Denver teaser, just like you mentioned. I know it's very, very obvious.
Yeah. Do you think this gets bet down to 7 though? Like just based on the number? I think it's more likely to go to 7 than the 8.
Carolina was faded hard this week in market. Hard. Denver was backed very heavily in market last week. I don't know if that's just two situational matchups, but
I mean, Denver's at their peak value then right now in the market, right? Like this is probably the highest that they've been.
I would say that they probably are, but that doesn't mean they can't go higher with this week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. What are you doing? This
like Denver opened the season as like a -4, 4.5, and they were valued as 3 to 3.5 points better than that this past week. Someone asked me Carolina, New England. I would take New England on a neutral against Carolina.
Oh, especially with Drake May.
Yeah.
No question.
Carolina has the worst defense. I don't want this to be recency bias, but I'm not exaggerating when I say they are one of the worst defenses I've ever seen, personnel-wise. They just do not have players.
I don't think there's a team Carolina. If Carolina was on the road, I think every game would probably be 3.5 or worse. I don't think there's anybody that they're within a field goal of on the road.
Oh man, Pickens almost made another absurd catch. That would have been absurd. What if Eager on the D line, probably better than some of the defensive linemen they got there now.
It's a game I go to.
I'll tell you that. Wow, I can't believe I didn't look at the schedule before coming on air. That's an ugly one.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football next week is an interesting matchup. It's the Cowboys and the 49ers. San Fran laying 5.5 -115. Total in the game at Fanduel 47.5. Juice towards the over. Ayuk is going to be out likely for the year in this game. We don't know what the situation is going to be with Dallas's defensive line, but I think very likely that Micah Parsons plays in this game. I think very likely they have their full complement of cornerbacks. Deron Bland, Kalen Carson, Eric Hendricks. Bye came at a good time for them, I would say, with the amount of injuries that they're dealing with. Now, the 49ers do own the Cowboys. Shanahan owns McCarthy.
True.
So here's my subjective analysis, and then I'll talk about the number. But I wanted to bet Dallas this week. I thought that this was going to be the spot. I'm looking at San Fran KC today. I'm watching the wide receiver. Debo will play next week. He was just dealing with an illness. But I'm watching Ayuk go down. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this is not the 49ers team that I remember. Part of that is Spags for sure. But I'm looking at the schedule, and I'm thinking Cowboys are going to be 7-point dogs in this game. And I'm going to bet Dallas. And they're not right now. They're 5.5-point dogs. And now now I'm kind of rattled.
Yeah, you kind of got shit on with the way that today went.
I know. I actually needed them to not beat Mahomes, but keep it closer.
Competitive, yeah.
Because this is a defense that they've owned at full health before as well. Man, it's an ugly one. But San Fran it's not the 49ers team that we remember.
Yeah, but so to that end, it looks like 47.5 is probably the lowest number in the market. I don't really have an appetite for the over. I have more of an appetite for the under.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, for me, feels right. Usually the way that I like to approach this when we're talking about them on Sunday Night Football is I see it for the first time and I try to make like a gut reaction of, okay, if you had to bet one side or another, what is standing out to you? That number feels fine to me, honestly. I was kind of disappointed. I've been fading my Cowboys for all year. Outside of week 1, I mean, how many times have I bet against Dallas this year? My favorite team. I'm just constantly rooting against them over and over. I bet against them against Detroit. I bet against them with Pittsburgh. I lost. I bet against them with the Giants. I won. I bet against them with Baltimore. I mean, it's 4 weeks in a row. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm finally going to, they've hit rock bottom now.
I can't remember the last time I've seen them this low in market.
I still probably going to bet. I mean, let's see. Are there 6s there right now? Yeah, we got some 6s out there. A few. I would take the 6s on Dallas. But that's got to be it. It's got to, you got to capture the 6, I think, right now.
Dallas has not had a particularly tough schedule either.
Efficiency-wise, they've sucked, man. Been pretty league average offensively this year when you adjust for strength of schedule. They've been pretty bad defensively when you adjust for strength of schedule. Injuries play a part in it for sure. But
I'll say this, though. Yeah. They're not dead in the NFC East. Not yet.
Yeah, I think they're kind of dead. The last time I bet Dallas in a Sunday Night Football game against San Francisco, I turned I couldn't watch the game into the third quarter. They were getting annihilated. My wife's like, why are we still watching this? This was the first year that we used to do. I
vaguely remember this.
Maybe I was on air with you for just the first half.
For the start, yeah, and it was brutal.
Yeah, and then I went downstairs and my wife's like, are we actually going to watch the rest of this game? Why are you watching this? I'm like, it's a great question. I don't know. I guess I just like suffering.
Yeah, pain.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, can we watch something else? Fuck, man. Bad memories. Last game of the week is Monday Night Football. Lucky us, we get the Steelers and the Giants in prime time. Steelers -4.5, -110 is the early number in this game.
Nice throw and catch.
Wherever it's listed. It's down in most spots because this game is ongoing right now. But that was the number before we kicked off today, with a total of 37.5. Daniel Jones got benched today for Drew Lock. Probably will start again. I doubt that that's going to change anything.
Yeah, I don't think that's permanent.
I want
any injuries in that game for the Giants? I don't remember.
No, I don't. Outside of Andrew Thomas, who's hurt at left tackle, which is going to be a problem against the Steelers.
And it showed today.
Yeah,
it showed all game.
it's going to be a problem. But like, if the Steelers are going to keep rolling out this, who is laying 4.5 with this team?
Right.
Was that a
Yeah.
Lazard catch there? Yeah, that pushed out of bounds. Well, see, like Hitman really fucked me on the Conklin release. I'm not going to lie, he really did.
What did he release on Conklin?
Just the under. I had Conklin and Lazard both unders. Conklin bigger edge. He blew it up right beforehand. Room game 2.0. Steelers and Giants. Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that is kind of a rough one. Total of 37. And that might be high. I might be high.
I mean, listen, the
Watch that
Eagles
game.
bullied the Giants today, but the Eagles are a much better team than the Steelers.
Well, the Eagles have some explosivity to them, like with, AJ Brown and Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
They can get a first down.
Yeah. Adoree Jackson was out. Adoree Jackson is a depth corner at this point, and he's not very good anymore. Like the starters are there. McLeod.
What was the
Banks,
Giants' success rate today?
Phillips.
God.
You if you want to laugh, the Giants today had 2.2 yards per play. I don't think I've ever seen a series conversion rate of 43.5%. That is so low. Like a series that doesn't end in a first down. That's absurdly low.
30% success rate. Eagles only had a 42% success rate.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the Giants defense that's the problem. It's this offense without their stud left tackle. That's the problem.
Yeah, they need something to kind of anchor against that's any good to give Daniel Jones a little bit of time. But even when Daniel Jones had time, it didn't look like anybody was particularly open either.
No, it did not. It did not. Yeah, we'll see where this reopens. I listen, at the end of the day, I think if the Steelers end up getting blown out in this game, I don't think they're laying 4.5 next week. I think you get an adjusted opener, something in like the 3.5 range.
Well, even at 3.5, I mean, do you have interest in taking the Steelers at the Giants at 3.5?
No. Listen. At the end of the day, I'm going to run my numbers on Tuesday morning and whatever it spits up. But I will be surprised if I'm ending up on the Steelers in a game where they have to win by more than a field goal. Like I never want that scenario. Pretty much.
Yeah.
The Giants are not some incompetent team. It's not like we're talking about the Panthers or the Patriots. Like the Giants are on par with the Steelers. Steelers suck, man. I know they're 4-2, but they suck. Like, let's call it out for what it is.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's been total patchwork of Justin Fields somehow, and I got to tell you, the more I watch Russell Wilson, I don't know how they made this decision. I'm not saying that Justin Fields is a good quarterback, but Russell Wilson is 100% not an upgrade.
Russ is going to end up with some big numbers by the end of this game and some second half garbage time, and might buy himself another start.
This is just Tomlin not wanting to lose by a ton.
Yeah.
When are we going to get some coaches that fucking understand, like, you need to score more points than the other team to win?
Oh,
wow.
Rodgers. That was a great pick. Really, really good pick. Fuck. Just didn't want that to happen. Really just wanted the Jets to go down the field. I mean, it's a primetime home game. I get it, but
you're still down 9.
Yeah. Was Wilson the guy that was targeted there? Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Just not a good throw for what the read was. It was late.
Well, like the defender read it well. There was a window there, but he had to lead him more.
Well, it had to be one or the other. He had to throw an absolute bullet, or he had to lead him more.
It definitely wasn't the right throw. It had to be a perfect throw into that coverage. Like it was not the right throw.
I didn't see if anything else was open in the middle of the field. Not in the middle of the field, on the field. I don't know why he chose that. Don't give Russ life.
Don't give Russ life. 59 will be okay for the half. That would be okay.
7 of 15 for 134. Oh, they're going to play for a field goal here. Good stuff.
Classic Tomlin right here.
Yeah. Who's the first coach fired?
Okay. McDaniel's an
Next
option.
coach. Next coach.
Next coach. McDaniel is definitely possible.
I think that would be a bad choice. Like,
I think it's within the realm of possibility. He's really losing that. I do Miami radio every week, and like he's lost that market. Does Tennessee like scrap this Callahan thing quickly? I don't know. I just don't hear I don't know enough about these teams. I don't know enough about these teams and the organizations and the contracts to say.
ooh, we have a throw down field. This is what Russ is going to do. This is what he's going to be. He's going to be somebody who just underthrows these deep balls, never completes anything, but he'll
Prime
draw
Joe
some
Flacco.
DPIs.
I don't know if we can fire a bet now because I think they're in the red zone. But Brandon Johnson's been on the infield this entire series. Number 89. He's 40. Oh, you can. He's 41-1 to score a touchdown.
Brandon Johnson here.
If he's number 89. I'm pretty sure that's Brandon Johnson. He's been on the field. I don't know.
Yeah.
Quite a few plays.
Yeah, that's not a bad look.
43-1 is kind of very, very, very long odds here.
Veteran of
you have
UCF.
a no sweat token that you can find.
Yeah. Wow. You actually piped in at the right time and gave us a real bet for once.
Yes, sir.
I can't even tell you how surprised that the chat is like extremely surprised too. They don't even know what's going on.
They forgot about you. They thought maybe you left.
I think we got really high viewership off the top today because I tweeted that your mic wasn't working.
Yeah, and then everyone started leaving when they realized that it was.
Pulled the Debo Samuel. Just went in the locker room and called it. And
could we talk about that PI?
yeah, a little soft.
Wow. Anyone get it, by the way? Anyone get it or no?
I'm in.
It actually should have been caught. Like the ball should have been caught.
Yeah.
I keep getting an error.
Oh, Russ.
Warren, throw the Warren. No, not in the ground, you loser, Russ. What a loser.
Do we think Pierce can get fired?
Yes.
I saw Dable in the chat. I could see that, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Nah, I don't think so either. Pierce is definitely live to get fired. He is a. If they no show against Kansas City this week, that could easily be one. Easily be one. Sean asks, is Fields going to be in the game second half? I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
I really don't. I think they were very clear this week. At least, I mean, they could be lying to us. You never know, but it seemed very likely.
Oh,
did he catch it in bounds?
Looks like it.
So upset right now. Can't even tell you. Cannot even tell you how angry this entire drive has made me.
Ooh, and 2.5 is in play is a problem.
He's definitely not coming out in the second half now. I'll tell you that.
No. Russ is cooking.
I mean, Pickens has made every catch or like throw to Pickens is contested.
Yeah.
Rodgers fucked us, man.
Yeah. Terrible decision.
Rodgers really fucked us.
Is there any shot Stefanski gets fired?
I don't think so because I think he's been doing what management has been telling him to do the entire time.
I'd like to think he's built in enough goodwill. I don't think Mayo's going to get fired yet. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Did you
I'd
guys
like to see some better coaches. What's that?
Did you mention Peterson at all?
No, last week I did. I mean, he should probably be fired too. But if
don't
he didn't
think-
win today, I didn't think he was coming back from London.
Dennis Allen is the low-key like goof that needs to be gone for a long. Like Zach Taylor's not going to get fired because he's winning again now. But Dennis Allen is a loser and has always been a loser.
Yeah.
I think it was TA who put out, he's like, I think he has, of his 5 seasons as a head coach, 4 of them, he's gone under his win total by over like 1 or 2 wins in every single one. So like,
and won a coach of the year in the other one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
painful.
Crazy.
Which is nuts.
Yeah. Very painful. What's on the move?
Anything on tomorrow night's game?
Yes, I actually have a little bit on both overs tomorrow. So we'll strap in for a couple unders. Oh wow, that was a very, very violent tackle. Jason, tomorrow night we got the 8:15 start and 9 p.m. start.
Yeah. So someone in the chat was asking. I assume we're going to go live at 8 o'clock, assuming nothing goes wrong. Maybe 8:03. We'll see.
Maybe 8:03, and maybe the intro to the show will play 6 times over.
But yeah, we only played 3 times last time.
We'll do 8 o'clock live tomorrow. I'll do all the Baltimore Tampa Bay props, and we'll watch the first quarter there, and then I'll rip the Chargers Arizona props about 10 minutes before that game starts as well, and we'll have both games going at once. Oh,
we actually, Rob, if you can bring in a keyboard tomorrow, I forgot to. We couldn't find one in the office.
Where am I going to bring in a keyboard
from? I don't know. I don't have a keyboard.
My house is for sale. I don't got a keyboard here right now.
I don't know if you have any extras packed up or something. Like,
how does the BetStamp office not have an extra keyboard?
They asked. They said they don't have a keyboard. Everyone just uses their computer.
What?
Like everyone just uses their, like no one has a desktop. Everyone has a laptop.
Oh, they just
use their own. Like they don't,
and they just plug into a monitor, basically.
Yes.
That's what I've been doing lately as well. I mean, we'll get a damn keyboard. We'll figure out a way to get a keyboard for tomorrow. I can't handle that.
What? Nobody has like a Logitech wireless keyboard and like a wireless mouse.
Jacob the Giant brought one in.
Keyboard, BYOK.
Brought one in and it wasn't working. So.
The problem, I might have a keyboard here, but I have a feeling it's going to be just clicking as loud. Like this is a great silent keyboard. Like the keys are flat, right? Okay.
I can bring in my keyboard if you want, like, but mine's pretty clacky.
It looked mummified. That's a keyboard.
As I lifted it up, the protective layer started coming off. So it did look mummified. I did notice that, and I'm fixing it right now. Gonna decide how much money to lose on the Jets second half here in a second.
This is funny. I like this one. Maybe we should have a notebook on set. It's like a prop. I don't know.
Oh, please don't start using a notebook.
Man, my George tweet just picked up steam today, man.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of steam. I wonder if he's seen it.
What happened with that revenge game? I mean,
it's funny how they use the revenge angles like it means something. At least do the work. Here's what bothers me. Another Rob Pizzola rant, right? I don't mind if you mention certain angles that you think have value, but like do the work to try to figure out if it's that. People have been talking about revenge angles for fucking 30 years. I'm sure at some point in time when the market was super soft, maybe it mattered. It meant something, but people don't they're stuck in the past.
Well, people make it like you can't quantify most of this stuff. You can just look at the situations and look back, and you can kind of model, at least get an idea of it out. Like it's, oh shit, I liked this side, so I'm just going to say a revenge angle.
I know.
It's lazy.
It is pretty lazy. It's a great way to put it. You going to bet Jets second half with me, or are you just going to say no?
No, I'm saying no.
That seems to be.
Can I bet any anti-Russ stuff? Maybe I'll do that.
Hashtag just say no. Responsible Gaming 101.
How do I fade Russ? What's the good Russ fade?
Yeah, maybe I just don't want to end my night like that. In pain.
Yeah, I'm opening it up. Jason, what do you got?
Jets -1.5 second half.
Jason Leaf?
No, I'm right here.
What do I got? Keyboard?
No,
No,
Moreno
wait,
just
what-
gave him
I-
a stern talking to last week about jumping on the mic too much. So now he's
Yeah.
now he's
Now I'm
basically like
timid.
he's been neutered at this
Yeah, I
point.
was gonna
Correct.
say, wow.
Yeah. I thought you were asking me to pull up the board. I pulled up the board.
Well, yeah, like I want
You
to
want me to
favor us.
narrate it to you? I can narrate. I can read it out for you. So it's
No,
New
let's
York
go.
Jets.
Let's get an idea. What
Oh,
do
you're
we got
talking
in the
about
chat?
like like a parlay thing.
Well, we
Yeah,
want to
what the fuck? What do you
they want to
know?
cook a live PGP.
I don't know. Listen, I got to start talking.
Did
to
they
you.
This
fry
is
your
only your
memory?
gimmick. This is only
Like,
your
this is
gimmick
your
on
thing.
Sundays. This is your thing.
Well, I are actually subtly released a PGP. You guys want me to
What do you
release?
mean you
another one?
subtly released a PGP?
I did one on Saturday and I released it in the chat. See, it's here. If you look underneath me right now, Lazard 50 plus, Wilson under receiving yards, and Adams 6+ receptions. We're looking good.
Yeah, I felt like I was really live if the Jets went down the field there, and now I feel
Yeah.
less live. Now I feel
And then
less
Aaron
live.
Rodgers shit the fucking dead. Who got the ball
Yeah.
first?
Who did get?
I
the
think
ball
I need the
first?
chat to help me out here to build this. I don't know what we're gonna build here. I feel like I also kind of gave all my luster away with that Brandon Johnson.
Yeah,
dud.
Steelers got the ball first. They went down the field for a field goal.
Yeah, the Jets get the ball right out of the half.
All right.
Do we
Third
do
quarter
we go?
Jets. What else we got?
Third quarter.
All right, I got this. I got it. Punt, Devontae Adams to catch a pass on the first drive.
We're gonna do this again. We're cheering for 2 punt. I don't. So Jet. I don't actually hate I just don't want to root for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cabbage says punt Lazard over 5 yards. I
Yo,
think
me
the
and
punt.
Cabbage are same.
Yeah,
same idea.
Levi is in. I'm gonna feel like shit. I just don't want to root for it.
You don't want to root for
Steelers
punts?
punt. I want to just root for the Jets to score every time they touch the ball.
Because you have the Jets.
Yeah.
Someone's
Bung is a traitor tonight, by the way. Bung.
What?
I don't know if he's watching like the favorites live stream or something right now. I think Bung is a traitor to all the nails, personally.
I know Bung
Where
likes
is
to
he?
go. He likes to go hunting on the weekends, so he might be out hunting and on his way back now. It's a nice.
How do you
nice
know he
weekend.
likes to go hunting? What do you know about Bung?
I talked to him. I talked to all the nails.
Yeah,
Yep.
all that, including Mike Durso.
No, he blocked me.
He won't talk to you?
I sent him a message and he didn't like what I said, so he won't let me send anymore.
I mean, do you talk to Rober Clips?
No, I don't talk to Rober Clips. Rober, if you want to DM me, we can talk. I'd be happy to. Yeah, I also forgot to use the pickup lines that you guys sent to me. So, I mean, you didn't send me any, so I guess that's more of a you guys thing than me. Anyways, are we going with this punt? Adams catch, punt.
You're more than welcome to do that. You're more than welcome to do that. I'm personally not going to bet it because I don't want to root for it. I don't hate the idea of it. Johnny wants me to build an SGP. I'm trying to look right now. The only thing I will say that in the first half, Calvin Austin had 3 targets, but no receptions. He's the guy that like underperformed like his target reception ratio or target yards ratio. He might be a guy worth looking at second half. But I'm not doing anything here. I got too much going pregame right now, and I don't see enough value on the board.
I don't see anything I necessarily want to bet either. I'm looking at anytime third quarter touchdown scorers. I got nothing.
I'm gonna go punt Adams if anyone wants to join me. One in the chat if you're joining me, 2 in the chat if you're gonna lay off. And if you're playing something else, let us know.
Yeah, I'd actually like to know what people. I would rather somebody give a good bet in the chat that I can tail myself. The Garrett Wilson cuck chair parlay.
That was so Rob. I think you're telling on yourself right now, saying that you didn't watch the Saturday show because that was the theme for my parlay. I called it the Garrett Wilson because you always tell me build out a story, build
Yep.
out a theme for a parlay. And that was the theme, was that Garrett Wilson would be situated in the cuck chair, watching Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and Alan Lazard.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I wasn't around in the after. It dropped a little bit earlier this week because where somebody asked, and it's very fair to not drop the props episode at the same time Hit the Books goes live. So totally fair, but dropped a little bit earlier and I wasn't able, had some stuff going on in the afternoon.
All good. So if it would have dropped later, you still wouldn't have been able to watch it.
No, I would have been able to watch it if it dropped a little bit later.
But then why don't you just watch? Chad, you see where I'm like, Clive, you see where I'm like losing, like, unless my brain is fried right now.
Yeah, he's definitely losing it.
Why? But if it's out earlier, you could have. If it was released later, then you would have watched it. But it was out earlier, so you didn't.
Yeah, when it goes, I like to watch that live when it goes out, so that I can get the best possible number on the Hitman plays.
Okay. So you don't watch it. So just to be clear, we don't watch it for my parlay.
I will be as clear as I can possibly be that I do not.
Seem clear.
Yeah. Done deal. All right, Clive.
All right.
Good chatting, man.
All right. Good luck, everybody.
I would say go Yankees, but that would be a blatant lie. I hope they get swept in the World Series.
That's fair. All right. Peace out.
Clive Bixby, everyone. Dressed as a guy who would be driving around a white van for Halloween.
I'm just going to quickly address this in the chat. It's tough to do because him and I record at different times every single weekend. So we cannot hammer down a time because it's like Hitman is very busy Saturday mornings.
Can't hammer it down, huh?
Well, I'm openly available to record whenever Hitman wants to. It's just whenever he wants to record is when we record. So I can't really commit to a time if Hitman is going to be kind of all over the place.
Jack says
he's been doing like the Saturday show's been amazing, by the way. Like it's
Hitman,
been single-handedly saving our season.
I don't love to say good things about him. But he's having a pretty incredible year all around.
Props,
he's having a really good
100%.
year.
Yeah.
I talk to a guy every day. He's doing really well.
I think he's like 41 and like 15 on his prop service. Something like crazy like that.
Yeah, so is Fezzik, actually.
I know he's 40 and 16.
40 and 16.
Because of Nico Collins. That is the best. Oh. We're all clicking on the same thing.
It's the best joke that can possibly be made at this point.
Yeah.
And everyone just understands it, and it's so easy to make that joke.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna throw in the punt parlay.
Punt.
Call it that.
The triple P.
Yeah. So it's punt, and Devontae Adams. Someone was asking in the chat, Devontae Adams to catch a pass on the first drive, which I feel like is, now that I think about it, I'm not really thinking straight. That's incredibly negatively correlated with Jets punting. It's like a player catching a pass. Anyways,
completely off topic, but I did see this comment right now about Ferrari to win the Constructor Championship. I'll do the math on this over the course of the show, but that might not be a bad bet. Ferrari 1-2 today in Austin, Texas. Banger.
Can we fit that into our
plus 650? You can't parlay it. I don't think you can't parlay it with punt Devontae Adams.
Okay.
Car looks super fast today.
What's the deal with I don't want to make this an F1 thing, but what's the deal with Red Bull getting fined or something like that with their car? We don't have to talk about it. You can just kick me out.
Sounds good. No, you can come back in, Jason. Now I have to fill time on my own.
I need time to to punch in this bet. Also, shout out to Scott, who I was also DMing this weekend.
Which one?
Scott Dobbish. I'm really bad with pronunciation.
Goes by Scotty Too Hottie. He's asked to be only called Scotty Too Hottie going forwards.
Well, Scotty Too Hottie and I were talking this weekend, and he did my job for me, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He has an update on my Jersey Jinx record. So
Wow.
7-12 versus my jerseys. So Scott Dobish.
Dobish.
Big D. We can call him Scott Big D.
Hmm.
Maybe not.
I mean, people who call themselves Big D, they're usually compensating for something, you know?
Yeah, like the Eagles guy.
Yeah. Yeah. While we're on the topic of, okay, so he did the 7-12 with you wearing the other jersey.
Yeah.
Seeing as how I'm now 2-5 on best bets this year, I'm thinking of bringing back the Leanser board.
Okay.
But only if my Leans record is good.
Do you want me to go back and go through and check if your Leans record is good? Is that what you're asking right now?
I think it's pretty good. I've had a really good. Here's the thing. Okay.
Well, it makes sense, right?
True story. I'll level it. I've never not been honest and transparent with the nails, with the audience. Last year, I had a very good record on the Best Bets show. I did not have a great football season. We won, but we won a very small amount, to the point where we even had a conversation in the offseason. This is me and betting partners of like, are we going to do the same thing next year? Or are we better? Is it our time better served elsewhere? This year, the best bets on Wednesday are 2-5. I'm having the best football season I've ever had to start the year. I'm not exaggerating. So I have to feel like that. I have to feel that whatever the leans have been on the show have been doing well. And based off the chats as well, I feel like people have been winning money generally. Taylor.
It seemed like, well, I mean, we're down very bad this year on best bets, but the chat comes back positive every week. So I think that's probably directionally correct. Yeah, I think I would have to. Yeah, we could easily bring it back, but it might be tough with the new format now, though.
Yeah,
or maybe not.
That's true. Well, we might have to go to career records as well, this year and career. In fact, we're going to make that change going forwards.
Just absolutely screwing the hitman. Can't have them.
Yeah. Look, like my backup best bet this week was Philly, New York Giants under. Of course, I gave the Carolina over. For people that don't know, we actually have a backup best bet ready to go for every show, just in case the line moves in real time, so we can pivot. Hitman won again with Seattle. Judah went Cincinnati alt spread. His backup best bet was Washington alt spread, which would have won by a mile. Like, you can't really write this stuff, you know? But we do talk about the other games.
We do. Wait, I turned off the Browns game. Jameis Winston played and they scored a touchdown.
Yes. The Cincinnati alts lost because Jameis Winston was the emergency quarterback and played.
Oh my God. Why did he play? Did DTR get hurt?
Yes.
Oh, I missed that. Wow. Didn't have my Apple TV today.
I mean, listen, I think this is a great suggestion. I think we should do that this week. That'd
actually be great.
I love that. Let's do that. It's great.
Worst bets record.
Anthony Glenn, I will thank you for the suggestion. Love that idea. All right. The people have demanded him, and he is here. Jeffrey.
What up?
You tell me, my man. How are things?
Things are all right. Yeah. I feel like I'm a little too zoomed in, though.
Yeah, you're pretty. Don't fuck around with anything, please.
Definitely are. You can. You're good.
Can he?
Yeah.
We knock on wood fixed this.
Yeah, we did. I was proactive. Yeah. Chatted with Jason for a few minutes.
Did you go to the Bills game today?
Hey, what fucking rumor is that?
Who said that? Somebody said something like that. Jeff.
Your boy Zach went to the Bills game and made a DeMar Hamlin joke on Twitter.
Oh. Zach went to the game. I know Zach went to the game. It was his first NFL game.
Yeah.
But
all right. I'm just gonna unzoom. But I'm here. Don't worry.
Unzoom. Well, Aaron Rodgers misses wide open Devontae Adams over the middle of the field.
Yeah, so you said that off the top. Where did you hear that from?
I think someone responded on Twitter when I tweeted saying like Jeff was at the Bills game today. He's going to be like extra sauced or something like that.
Wait, but I'm confused. Are you just starting this rumor?
No, I somebody said it to me and I just took it as truth.
Oh, someone said it to you.
Yeah, someone said it to me.
I see. I wish he did go to the
Dinger.
Bills game.
Not a big fan apparently. Dinger, not a huge fan of. Oh no, I can see Jeff backstage right now.
Oh man, I think he's talking. Are you sure he's not talking about me?
Oh,
maybe Dinger's just delayed.
I would venture a guess that he's not a fan of either of you.
Oh, I know that for sure. He did. Did he tweet at me? No, he subtweeted me on Twitter. I don't know. Maybe I don't remember. I had one Twitter interaction with him. It was fun. Fun times.
Fun times? Was it really? Or are you just saying that?
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, Tony Adams questionable to return, by the way, for the Jets. So that's DJ Reed, Michael Carter, Tony Adams injured in the secondary as of right now.
Okay. I'm sad because I'm trying to find this comment, but someone said Jeff finally took it. Like when you said that Jeff went to the Bills game, someone's like Jeff finally took his cousin to a game, to his favorite team's game. I can't find the comment now. It's hilarious.
It's tough break. Well, he's here, but we'll never forget how he scummed his cousin. Chargers and Bills fan playing each other in the city that he was in, and he refused to take him. Could have saw Easton Stick play, but no. Didn't get there.
Listen, it's not my child.
Yeah, I know, but he could have been a nice guy.
I could have. I wasn't driving. People don't just go from San Diego to Los Angeles. Like, you need an actual fucking reason, Rob.
Yeah.
Go to that hellscape.
Yep. I hate to start with like bringing up bad things.
Okay.
But I do it for the content. And
sure.
You messaged me yesterday afternoon, and you told me you were really interested in playing one NFL side today that you thought was just gonna demolish the other team.
Did I say that?
Yeah, you told me you really wanted to bet the 49ers heavily. So I'm wondering if you did.
I bet you last night and told you I bet the 49ers, but I'm having cold feet. I also bet Miami, and I bet
the Jags.
Jacksonville is what I'm telling you. I did bet the Jets. I got on Philly. I had a lovely day. I hit JT Poston and golf at 50-1.
Oh, there you go.
And I had I just wanted more Jags this morning, so I played a Jags teaser with the Dolphins, Rob.
Seems like a
came back and live bet the Colts +6.
Yeah.
But yeah, I lost on San Francisco. I have no mojo, but good thing is I got it in this morning when the kids were at Sunday school. But I got no mojo, so it wouldn't be happening now, bro. I'm not allowed. And tomorrow I'll be so drunk. Game so late, I'll be so drunk that shit won't work. So
yeah,
had to be proactive. Jason wants me to check my settings.
I don't know. The mic sounded so good when you came on, and now it doesn't. I don't even really know what's happening with your setup anymore. I honestly, I somehow think this is on Jason's end.
It's not. I mean,
it sounds fine for you, right? It sounds a little underwater, if that makes sense for me.
Yeah,
maybe
it's like most of my props on this game underwater.
No,
right now.
No. Did Devontae Adams catch a pass? I wasn't even paying attention.
So far, no.
No, I didn't.
Russ just shoveled it to nobody there just to avoid a sack on this last play. I think it was Najee Harris that was there.
Right.
Jeff looks very confused. He's gone. And he's gone.
Everything was working. I don't know why.
Oh my God. What a joke, man. How is this happening? This is not real life. This guy Pickens is catching every contested ball today. How that hit the defender in the back and went up in the air, and they both got hands on it. Oh my God. And almost got stripped.
That was crazy.
That was nuts, man. Russ is cooking. Russ is
Jeff,
cooking.
you're muted now. Or like you're check on your board. Yeah.
You see that play, Jeff?
No.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Russ. I actually don't
Cooking,
mind
man.
Russ. He's throwing those nice little lob balls. Good for him.
Tomlin voodoo, man. It's in full effect. Tomlin voodoo is in full effect. Fuck, I should have just played those Russell Wilson overs, man.
You know, Rodgers.
Say what you got to say.
Reception before the half, like, just really shows. Like, he's lost it, obviously, with the mobility, but, you know, just doesn't have it. Like, he can't hit that window. And that sucks, but, you know, that is just how it goes. And Brady, like, realized who he was. Brady was way more self-aware as a player later in the career, but also Brady, you know, was never, like, a first-round talent. I guess it's different. It's a harder trajectory maybe to come down from. When Brady, like, acknowledges he always felt like a sixth-rounder in some ways, or, you know, whatever it was, Mr. Relevant and all that shit. But in his later days, he was a way more self-aware player than it seems like Rodgers is willing to be in his final days. Maybe that's just hyperbole for the day, but fuck, man. That pick before the half, they even ran on first down there to be to like perfectly make it. So, okay, even if we don't score here, we're going to run clock. He throws
Jeff,
that goddamn pick.
These guys catch every contested ball. Like, when did those Steelers receiving core, when did Pat Fryermuth turn into Travis Kelce here? Look at these hands.
Russell Wilson probably bought them scooters or something.
I mean, in fairness, that was a nice, you know, soft lob there by probably bought them scooters. Little soft lob there.
This would be a tough game for the Jets to drop, but that's all they do is drop tough games, it seems, right?
Yeah.
Broncos, Vikings, Bills. I could be forgetting someone too.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Tim's watching. He tweeted about the Mets.
You could have multiple TVs.
Tim does not have multiple TVs.
It's my kind of guy. Pay full attention to one thing.
No, he just hit the back button. Last channel.
Fez is on the Steelers. That's true. Do you think he's grading it on the -1 look ahead he gave out last week, or you think he's grading it on the number from this week? I'm going to almost guarantee that it's graded on this week's number, which is a much better number. He also has them in a million teasers as well.
The Steelers?
Yeah. Steelers teasers are looking good right now. I mean, it could still go to shit, but
I mean, they lost to those Cowboys like third stringers in the last minute in prime time a few weeks ago.
yeah. I mean, that was Justin Fields. So they don't have the second coming of Lord and Savior here at quarterback, Russell Wilson.
It's fine. They were like booing Russ off the field like an hour and a half ago.
I know. Exactly.
Literally.
They literally were booing him off the field after like 2 drives.
They wanted Justin back.
I don't want to be here, man. I just want an incomplete pass. Kick the field goal, Tomlin. Do what you got to do. No, not Van Jefferson. Okay. I love Tirico. No flag. It was tangled feet.
You know, I usually watch with buddies, Rob, and I don't know, like obviously, I guess. I'm
going to cut you off. Stop for 1 second. I just want to make the announcement that Bung is in the chat. He's back. Sorry, Bung. I might have said some bad things about you in the first half for not being here. But now that you're back, we can all rest easy. I was really worried for a minute there.
But this is the first time this is the most Brady I've ever listened to. Has
Yeah.
he always had a weird like speech element?
I think it's the plastic surgery that might have changed it for him.
Or something, or like, some like teeth recently, like cap teeth or something fancy.
Mm.
There's something around some of his words.
Mm.
I don't know. That was my observation from the game.
In fairness, Jeff, if I wasn't like a good friend of yours for a long time and I had just stumbled onto this program for the first time.
Yeah, sometimes I don't get it all out, but I'm not on TV, and he seems like he's actually enunciating properly.
Mm. JC3 wants to know how the Bills game was.
I really don't understand that rumor. I have no idea. All I did was respond to Zach's tweet making a Hamlin joke, and I clearly made it seem like there's nothing in that tweet that infers I was in Buffalo today.
Mm. All right.
Looked like it was a beautiful day in Orchard Park. Zach, what did Zach even write again? All he had to do was wake up.
Yes.
So that's a very inside baseball fucking tweet.
Yeah.
And Rob, it was a lovely day today.
Mm-hmm. It sure was.
Our weather was very similar to there. Truly beautiful, truly nice, lovely. Some would say it wasn't even crisp enough. Some like it'll even crispier out there. Now you're going to make me define crispy.
No, I know what you're saying. I know what you mean. I know what you're getting at.
No, it's too nice. You didn't even need a hoodie if you didn't want it at points today.
Oh, hoodie was too hot, man. I after pizza buffet this morning, I had to drive out of my house and I had the hoodie on. Way too hot. Way too hot.
So yeah, I was acknowledging the weather, and I know it's a joke, but I genuinely believe last year Hamlin was like a participant. Yeah, if he's actually coming back to being a league median safety, Rob, they got to fit. He deserves to be comeback player of the year this year. You can just ignore this. We can move on. We don't need to start. This could be as crazy as my take last year in reverse, but waking up might be worth 2 years of eligibility. I'm crazy enough to believe that. And who'd have seen this guy? Like, I never knew his trajectory was an actual mid-level safety. Good for him.
Yeah, I don't know about the comeback player of the year argument, but
I'm not betting it. I don't even know the number. I don't care. I'm not willing to even make side bets on it. But if they said, you know what, we've decided that your heart stopping on the field actually can grant you 2 years of eligibility, I'd be like, you know what, that makes sense. Good for him.
For a guy who came back from almost dying, he's been out there trying to kill people each week.
I'm gonna kill Tua, right?
I mean, he's a safety, so.
Let's talk about that. Holy shit, the goddamn Dolphins. I did lose the bet on the +4, but I had other parts of that game, and like I said, even made a little live play. I almost hit it from every angle, but I watched a lot of it. I made the barista joke. Someone sent me the picture. I retweeted him with the barista apron, McDaniel, that is, Pizzola. And I have just had a lot of dumb rules. I'm not methodical like you. I got my rules. If I think you're an above average team that's decently coached and your starting quarterback goes out, I will want to bet you the next game you've got full prep. I'm not Cam, who's like, oh, that guy's amazing. He's going to be amazing. He should be a starter. I just mean for the first 3 hours, they're going to be ready. And there's been countless examples in the last couple of years between Dobbs in Minnesota. I'm behind.
Like fucking Rodgers just put it directly on, I think, Garrett Wilson, and it bounced off his chest and got returned to the 1 yard line by the Steelers.
What a tackle from Devontae Adams there, though. Got the flying grab. That was a fun watch.
I really don't care about the tackle. The voodoo with this team is insane. I don't know how they do it, dude. This is a perfect throw. Hits him right in the chest. Could not have put this ball in a better spot.
Score?
Got tackled at the 1 by Davante Adams. Ultimate hustle play.
Look at that. Good job, Davante Adams. Jeff, you want to take 2 seconds, just go to settings and double check that you have the correct mic selected.
Oh, man.
Jason's been trying to work this in for so long.
I just don't want to interrupt it, but here's the crazy part: is that every time it's like it was good when Jeff came in. I don't know what happened between now and then.
Check, Jason. 1, 2.
Maybe boost your input gain a little bit.
You know, because things have. Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Jason had me do a lot of tests today. And we're working
Back to
on
school for
I
Jeff.
love running the diagnostics live on air. This is actually my favorite part of every week. I don't know what happened, Jeff. You used to have like the cleanest setup.
But there were some simple fixes that Jason didn't tell me about.
Okay, what?
It's true.
Oh man.
Is it not? Like
No, I guess it is simple.
I mean, if you go into settings on StreamYard, there's like 3 settings that you can change under audio. You know what I'm saying?
Let me see if I can do that myself.
You could change your mic. You can reduce like the background noise, automatically adjust the mic volume. There's not many other settings.
I don't think Jason wants this one, does he?
Oh no. That's definitely not the right
Abort.
one. That's definitely not.
Abort.
And while we wait, if everyone can just do me a quick favor.
I typed that into the forward progress chat instead of our private chat.
Oh, my bad.
No, that was me. I did
Please smash the like button if you're not doing that. Please do that right now. And if we can get to
I also thought the same thing. I'm like, oh no, did Jeff freeze now? He was just staring.
Nope, not frozen.
They seem to like the other mic. The other mic is definitely worse.
Other mic is worse quality, but it's you
okay. Number 1, if you want Jeff to stay on this mic. Number 2, if you want him to go to the other mic.
Oh, tune would be good. Okay, wait, hold on. I wonder if I can do this, Jeff. If you can just count from 10 backwards. I don't know if we should do this.
What?
Okay.
Count
Why
backwards from 10.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. You're like, I thought you were trying to fucking test me, not the microphone. If I know to count to 10,
no, that's
like it's a fucking sobriety test.
Okay, count to 10. Sorry.
You
How
guys
did you
got
used to-
together before the stream and you sorted the mic situation. Then this guy came on.
Check the tapes.
I feel like there's some sort of sabotage happening at this point.
No. Check the
I
tapes.
agree.
No,
I feel like I'm being
no,
sabotaged.
No. Check the tapes. When you first came on, you were fine. No one said anything. You said, I need to adjust my camera. You left, adjusted your camera, came back, and then your mic was fucked.
Jeff, we're going to need you to do the alphabet backwards now.
Oh, if you unplug that?
Oh. Maybe this, I mean, plug it up, unplug and plug back in seems to
blow on it a bit too. No,
yeah, Jeff.
I'm kidding.
I'm actually really annoyed. I'm actually really annoyed about this.
No,
you're on the other mic though now, right?
Yeah, you gotta switch back.
You gotta switch back to this one because you put it on the number 2 mic.
The nails are hilarious, by the way. My favorite is when Jeff is like.
Is anyone here work in IT in the chat?
Yeah,
Where is Ron Papa?
Ron.
Jeff, do you have a board?
Fuck off.
What? Like, increase your input gain on your board if you have a board.
Oh no, now you're just completely dead. Zero volume. Entirely muted. Oh no, that sounds like it's going to be really loud. Go. There's a lot. I can hear the feedback already.
Put it back to where it was before, and then talk as you raise it. But now it's just not working. I don't know.
I hate this program because now all my shit's fucked, and it actually works for my other programs, except this one. So now I'm gonna have to do like a. I just want to put it out. No, never mind.
This is good, Jeff. Mike is good right now.
Okay, great. Are the Dodgers still winning?
I'm not following baseball. To be fair, the Lord McD, when me and Jeff were producers,
on the Jets, that he's still dead.
I didn't even see who was down on the field. Honestly, I just completely lost. I completely lost track of where we were once your mic stopped working.
Yeah, I was making fun of Mike McDaniel. Out of a bye week, he doesn't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to go for short yardage plays.
Mm-hmm.
He can't get those receivers going.
Mm.
Like, Rob, no, like, there's a countless list of above average or really good coaches that we've seen make a lot of things happen with backups that still involve their high-end personnel.
Yep.
From Dobbs with O'Connell or Browning last year with fucking Bengals and I don't know, Malik Will. Like, I'm not just cherry picking. Like,
my whole thing is that they've already tried to do this.
Supposed to be like, you might not think he's a good coach, but you think he can draw up a couple fucking plays and put the ball in the good players' hands. I'm not even saying like win the game. I'm saying like I'm amazed at the lack of functionality, and maybe I don't should be giving Tua more credit, or are they just like have the absolute worst fucking backups, or is he just an idiot?
They tried to run the same offense without Tua when Tua got hurt with Skylar Thompson. Didn't work at all. They tried the same with Huntley. Everyone in Miami turned on McDaniel, and they're like, you need to stop with all this gadget bullshit. Get back to running the ball. They get back to running the ball today. They run for almost 200 yards. These goofs, Mostert and Ingold, both fumble in the game. I don't really know what the guy's supposed to do, honestly. I don't really. They have nothing. They have nothing.
No, and I respect that he tried to come up with a game plan today to just win a fucking game and get to 3-4 and get his quarterback back. And winning today, maybe you would say like saves their season with Tua coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say they're done if Tua's actually coming back. And in many ways it worked. And those two fumbles, like one of them took points off the board. And they needed that. Huntley was already out. Like, they needed fucking points.
Yep.
And I guess for the point spread, that would have been really clutch.
The Ingold one was killer, dude. That was a killer fumble.
Yeah, but the Mostert one also ended in a touchdown as well.
Yeah. And they missed the field goal as well.
They had that 10-0 lead at halftime, and they gave up those points quickly.
Yep.
Well, God damn it, man.
I know.
No offense. I like being here. I'm really upset about these problems. I don't have them all the time. I do a show with like Pat, like somewhat able to fix my problems or not have them. You know, he'd be pissed at me. And wouldn't even go live. So I get rattled when it's happening live, Rob.
Yep.
I don't want to jinx anything.
It's okay. Our audience expects the worst.
About the video stuff that when I made the fixes today, I didn't even consider audio. Jason and I were just so happy that we might have had a fix for the video,
and we fixed it,
and it was fine. But it wasn't fine because I got to be able to, you know, it shouldn't just go to shit for like I didn't touch anything.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know.
And I'm not coming tomorrow night, by the way.
Yes, you are. You already agreed to it. You're coming. You
That's
have
one
to.
of those things where like, yeah, you should come with us. So we're going to this place. We're gonna have a few drinks.
And we're gonna put the Chargers game on the small TV too.
You have to tell your wife, listen, I got no mojo. I'm done.
Yeah,
I need to go in to office.
you got no mojo, Jeff. You got no mojo.
I got to get it back somehow.
Yeah. Are you betting the Chargers tomorrow?
I have no bet yet. I probably will because it's a TV game. But I'll wait it out. Like, there's nothing about the spread that scares me if it goes to back. Was it 1.5 now? 2?
Just take a quick look at it live now. It is 1.5 at Fanduel.
Yeah. So whatever. It could go to 1. Like, worst case, it goes to 2. Like, I'm not really worried about a key number leaving. Yeah, Rob, I don't know. I just don't know. Game is so late.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to get like really drunk or not drunk at all.
No,
And
you
I
can't.
just
I can't
don't
allow
wanna
you to. If
sit
you
there.
drink, you have to sleep at the office. That's the rules.
I could drive you home, Jeff. That's an
I
option.
just don't want to sleep there.
Could drive you home.
Um,
We're right by a hotel too. We can get you
no,
a
not
room.
Sleep there. I just don't want to like sit there. I don't like sitting for the.
Yeah,
That's
you need
perfect.
to. You need to pace. Jeff needs to
That's-
pace around. I've seen him before.
We have
Always-
pacing angles.
I just want you guys to know. I watch the games, always thinking something bad is gonna happen. Like every play, I think he's gonna fumble. Like secure it down. I always count for an injury. I don't even celebrate for 3 seconds because I think I'm gonna see flag. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. This sounds like a nightmare for me to watch with you. Like, absolutely. I don't think I want to be around you during a Chargers game.
I actually been a lot better, but yeah, I got when it comes to Chargers, I get a lot of anxiety. But I've been more chilled. Even my friends have acknowledged, like last couple of years, you know, I'm usually just like chilled. If something bad happens, it's just like, oh shucks, you know. Like even last year, before the year, said fun and sadness. This year's just been like football.
I think we should do a vlogs of Jeff watching the Chargers games. I think that would be a good idea. We could cut them up into like 1-minute things for TikTok. Jeff just losing his mind during Chargers games.
Maybe I need to come by, Jeff, to help fix your audio, and then I'll.
About anything in my background, but
Hmm?
okay, everything's pretty fresh. So
What are you fixated on right now? What comment rattled you here?
I don't know. Tony Cook.
Tony Cook. I don't
Tony,
see this
where the
guy.
fuck? Oh, how have I just noticed Jeff is showcasing a pair of soiled Jordans?
No, those are golf shoes. Those are all golf shoes, and those haven't been touched. Those are hard to get. Those are the Jordan golf shoes before Jordan golf shoes were like super mass produced.
Mm. So they're not soiled.
No, everything's fresh. I wish I wore some of that stuff more often.
Jeff would tell Rob to get out of his chair so we could get a better seat. I don't know what that watch along would be like, but we could definitely block out a pacing corner for you. If you needed a place to pace, we could
we'll
block
still
that.
move them in tomorrow, but it's I don't know, man.
Man, you don't know what my Mondays are like, Jeff. Because you record with me at noon, but I'm there all day, dude. I do circles off right afterwards. I record some other stuff. I do the live watch along. It's tough, man. Mondays beat me down. Full day with Jason.
I believe that. When we saw you the last time, I'm like, wait, like you're here all day. But I don't know. You get a lot of shit done.
Yeah, but like, there's
It's a
just
long time. It's a long time.
We actually do need Murphy. We need somewhere where I could take like a really good nap.
A nap spot would be great.
Yeah.
A nap
Right
spot.
now, I just go down to my car.
Dark room, just a little
Yeah.
dark room, little bed, little clean mattress and sheets.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Lazard looks like he's hurt. I don't know.
ever.
Is he at 50 yards yet? If not,
39. He's at 39. He's at 30. Wasn't it 15-6 for the Jets?
It was 15-3. Or 15-6. You're right, because it was 7-6.
I fucking hate this team, man. I hate the Jets.
And
Every
honestly,
Jets fan I know is a huge loser. Every Jets fan I know.
Saw something about I don't know. On a route I want to take to downtown tomorrow, might have to encounter a protest. So I'm gonna go another way.
At least you didn't have to go into the city today, dude. The marathons, geez. Let's just shut down all the infrastructure of Toronto. I guess they do this in every major city, but like, it's rough.
Oh, was today a big one?
Yeah, there was like a marathon and a half marathon.
It was the Toronto Marathon today.
Good. They must have. I already left for Buffalo. They must have closed the roads behind me.
Oh man.
You know, I didn't get a chance to watch because my wife's going back to work tomorrow after some mat leave. So I tried to like really help out.
That's why you gave her the old Sasich this morning, huh?
Yeah. Kids when kids were at Sunday school.
Yep. Isn't it a sin to do that stuff on Sundays?
I don't know. We got a lot of rules. I break about 99% of them. I don't know if that's one of them.
All right.
Cam was on with Pat and Tim tonight. I haven't watched it. I'll have to go back maybe.
Yeah. Oh, Braylon Allen, 3 yards.
Is Tim officially off the Jets, by the way, or is he back on the Jets?
He watching, but he's been tweeting about the Mets.
Singing.
Well, what's the score there?
I don't know.
It's in the series. Okay, good. 6 more outs. Do you have like an opinion? Not an opinion. Do you like Dodgers Yankees? Seems pretty cool. Like
Dodgers Yankees is cool. I said I'll be rooting
for the Dodgers. Like
Yeah,
I
of
don't
course.
hate the Yankees the way I hate other rivals. Like the Yankees and the Red Sox, Rob. Like we're Blue Jays fans, so I like baseball enough where I can still like the cool franchise.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Even though we're division rivals.
No, I agree.
Like I never wear a Yankees hat or anything, but
No, that's just a total loser move.
like I don't know. I like the way you probably feel about like the Giants or the Eagles. Like I don't hate the Red Sox and the Yankees like I should. But
I do. I hate both of those teams. Despise both of those teams. Big 4th and 1 here, Jeff. 4th and 1 for the Jets. 5 wide.
Yeah, good luck.
Caught by Mike Williams.
Yeah, there he is. Could be a Steeler tomorrow, they're saying, Rob.
Could be a Steeler tomorrow. Yeah, I actually did read that. Yeah, they just didn't want to make the trade before the game.
Sammy asks, am I not a Padres fan? The Padres are my National League team, and I don't have that with any other sport. But the thing about baseball is when I was like 6 years old, Toronto had a team. So I didn't need to like find another team. But I go to San Diego enough. I love San Diego so much. And when we were little kids, Rob, teams didn't play. Like they were actually separate. So we've said this before. I like making fun of Eric Cohen, who I think in every sport has a team in each conference.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
I think in baseball, like when you're our age, it's not like the weirdest thing. Because I also like the Expos a lot as a kid.
I didn't.
You like?
But I rooted against.
You like had it like a Leafs Habs thing or something with that?
No. So actually, like when I was young, I used to cheer against my dad in everything. So I didn't enjoy the Blue Jays World Series wins. I was very upset about that as a youth.
Why would you do that?
It says a lot about me. Like my grandfather, rest in peace, is a big Inter Milan fan. He hated Juventus, so I loved Juventus. That's like the origin story of most of my team. The Cowboys, like my dad's a Steelers fan, but he was also a huge Toronto Argonauts fan. So when Joe Theismann went to the NFL from the Argos and Washington, he became like a hybrid Steelers-Washington fan. And there was one team he hated. It was the Dallas Cowboys. So I cheered for the Dallas Cowboys. That was...
Never want, like, honestly, I don't need to force my kid, even for like a picture op, to like give a shit about any of my teams. But God forbid he wants to, like, Tim does this. He's a Dolphins fan because his dad loved the Jets.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I don't. You gotta really like have some, whatever.
Shouldn't every Canadian love Warren Moon and Doug? Listen, I don't have a bad thing to say about Doug Flutie. Neither of them, yeah. Totally.
I mean, I think he, when he was last, he called Notre Dame games on NBC for a while.
Yeah.
Used a little too much hair dye, but other than that, not a bad thing. If I really went digging through my shit, I have like an autographed body of Flutie Flakes somewhere and supercharged Flutie Flakes.
They're probably right behind those soiled Jordans you got there.
No, but they'd be real soiled with the Flutie Flakes.
I didn't know where you were going. I still don't know.
How did you soil the Flutie Flakes?
Well, like they're so fucking old, Jason.
Oh, okay.
If he ate them, he would soil himself. Is what he's getting.
I thought you maybe
disintegrate it. Like,
yeah.
You guys not making any bets this set?
This is so like what a stupid throw. Like targeting Mike Williams here on the outs. Obviously, this guy's not going to win his route. He's got safety help. Like, what are you doing, Rodgers?
It's a good thing they traded a second for Devontae Adams.
Jesus, man. Like, what an absolute joke this team is. Jeff Ulbrich. Give me a break. All right, Jeff. The people have asked. The Nails, they want you to eat the flakes on stream.
Not a chance.
How much would I have to pay you? What is the box worth of Flutie Flakes?
I don't care. Throw it out.
And the field goal got fucking blocked. Are you joking me? This organization, Tomlin, Voodoo, I don't know. I don't know how they do it. It's insane. I'm not doing this again. I'm not going through this experience again. Of course, the one time I bet the Steelers was against the Cowboys, and this team got fucking shelled at home.
These fucking guys, eh?
There's like 3 guys that could have blocked that. There's a 35-yard field goal. What is Greg Zuerlein? Your nickname is the leg. Get the ball up in the air, dude.
We have to get rid of Greg the Leg's nickname now. He's like 50 years old. He doesn't have the leg anymore. Like Greg the Limp Noodle is almost
Greg the Peg Leg.
Yeah, Greg the Peg Leg. Jesus. Like that one kicker in the NFL from the 80s.
Someone's on the field. He's being chased by security. You know when they do the zoom out view, but you can still see the guy running?
You missed a kick in the Super Bowl, Rob, that cost me a huge squares. I fucking hate that guy.
Greg Zuerlein?
I fucking hate it. It was the end of would have been Rams Patriots.
Thanks.
At the end, they were down how many? Like 2 scores? What was the final score in Rams Patriots? Like 12-3?
12-3, yeah.
Was that what it was?
I remember it being that. Yeah, I can check right now. 13-3. We were close.
So it was like with 1 minute left, they're like, fuck it, we'll stop this drive, we'll kick the field goal. And I would have won squares on that. Oh, piece of shit.
If we started taking donations tomorrow and we got like a couple $100 for you to eat the Flutie Flakes, would you do it?
There's that meme that I like tweeted a couple times this week. Like it hits so fucking hard, man. Jason, put it up. Put it up.
What's the meme?
My third tweet down. It's like I love sports.
I mean, you just ask the guy to do it on the spot. Like give him a little bit of an advance warning.
Yeah. But it's also like not like depression. It's like how you feel when the quarterback you bet against converts like third down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you know, when you're like Tomlin voodoo, like you're not actually depressed. You're just like watching sports.
Mhm.
Like that's more annoying than like you getting the first downs.
Oh man, that's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
And then
Listen.
when you have no mojo after that long day, you got to be jerking.
Of course.
Those are the
Of
rules.
course.
Those are the rules.
I hate to bring it up again, but Jay Jones says he'll give a nickel, but you can't use milk.
Like I got to eat the whole box.
$500, you got to eat the whole box.
I'm not down that bad.
That was a great
Double it
catch
and
by
I'll do
Jaylen
it.
Warren. Jaylen Warren, big. You
I'll
do
do
it.
it.
It's not as funny.
Why?
I mean, people want.
I wouldn't be talking.
Much worse things for you. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
I like this name, by the way. Greg the Egg. If he's kicking, you're getting 0 points. That's pretty clever. That's pretty clever. I really just want to see Jeff eat these Flutie Flakes.
That's such a dumb thing. There might be some from 20 years ago that I'll eat. I'll eat a McDouble from McDonald's from 3 hours ago, but
Fuck, I'm gonna rip a Mickey D's afterwards. I got so many free things from all these coffees I've been grabbing on the way to back to my house.
That's the thing I want to pull the most.
I got a free hot pie, Jeff.
No, not pie, but like my favorite pull is like a free fry, a free cheeseburger. Like that's what I want to pull. I don't need no property. I'm not actually playing the game.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I don't care about the properties.
If I did come tomorrow, I'd probably Uber, but I don't want to play. I don't want to, you know.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Jeff,
what you're saying.
I can drive you home if you come.
Well, you don't even know where I live.
Okay.
I don't know, Jeff. I don't know. I'm taking a leak. Jason, come in.
A free ride from Jason?
Wait, what? Say that again.
Like my decision is not based on like a ride from you.
Why not? We would be great carpool buddies.
Yeah, just be like drunk and happy or drunk and sad and be like, Jason, like I want to stop. Let's stop for a snack.
Let's stop at Duke's. Listen, you can. I'm the guy who stops at Duke's. I was always the DD. Like I don't mind a Duke stop.
Yeah, hold on though. But you don't even know where I live.
I remember you told me you live just north of me. You live like
you don't need to say, but yeah, okay, it sounds right. I don't remember when we spoke about it, but sure.
Because I asked you if you lived in a very Jewish area, because I just assumed, I don't know why, because you're Jewish. I'm like, you're Jewish, you live in Toronto, you don't live in the heart of Toronto. There's like only one place where you can end up, and you're like, no, I'm not there. I'm close to
there.
Yeah, no, you're close to there though.
Little bit, but yeah, I mean, they even annoy me. I can say that.
Yeah, I live in that area.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, like something they'll walk in the middle of the road like they own the place.
That's what I do. So,
and I can say it like, you know, whatever.
Yeah, we can both I can half say it and you can full say it, I assume.
And also, yeah. No, I can say whatever I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're some of them are really annoying, truth be told.
Yeah.
Okay. I walked into this. I need to get the context before we get taken off air here forever.
No, nothing bad was said. I just said that there's a whatever.
There's a minority that's annoying. Is that what you're getting at?
No. Well, sure. I mean, they all. Yeah. I mean, some more than others, but I just mean. Jason lives in an area where like some people can be really annoying. They'll just walk in the middle of the road like they own it or something. It's really,
and I'm one of them.
Yeah.
You walk in the middle of the road?
Well, I jaywalk all the time because like.
Okay, we're not even.
No. Do you look both ways before you cross?
Yes, of course. Twice. Look both ways twice.
Make sure you really do that if you ever go to the UK. Because you're used to looking one way on one side of the road, and seen some bad things in my day. All right, Jeff.
Next time,
let's get that mic fixed for next time.
Perfect game here, by the way.
I really
I'm like Mark Messier calling my shot. So that's it.
I can't wait for the AI chat summary of this.
We
Oh,
haven't
man.
gotten any good ones. We said, all right, he just dropped out. No sign.
Yeah,
of
he
that.
said I'm fucking done with this later.
So
We should run like an AI chat summary every 5 minutes and then put it into an article for anyone who misses the watch along. They can come back, catch up.
it's a good idea, but the second we do that, I already know people in the chat are gonna be some very gonna say some very off-colored things to mess with the you can manipulate the AI chatbot.
Yeah.
It's only what's talked about in chat.
Mm.
So listen, if chat wants
I know of someone who's manipulating point spreads Sunday nights, Monday mornings. And you're telling me you can manipulate the chatbot. Oh man, this game is toast. This is done. Najee Harris, like the Jets make me sick. Do you know how much I hate the Jets? I don't think I can understate how much I hate the Jets.
I have said this for the last 3 years. The Jets are fundamentally broken. They are from the core of the organization. They are broken. That
I should have just stuck
right to the
with
core.
my preseason take, my offseason take that Rodgers is washed. Jets are going to be no good. This team sucks me back in. It's not even the Jets. It's just that the Steelers suck.
Yeah. I think the apple's rotten right to the core. You know what I mean? No?
Don't
No?
do that again. Don't do that again.
No TikTok fans in the audience. All right.
Who do the Jets play next week? New England. All right. Enough of Jason. I know you're all sick of him. Fourth quarter, Austin Mock, The Athletic. Austin.
It's quite the change of tune in this game. First, Russell Wilson was looking a little rough. Now it's the other way.
I will say, just because I don't hate myself quite enough, that when the Steelers score on this play, I am going to look for some Jets live money line prices.
Man, you're a brave man. Or stupid. I don't know. Whichever one you want there.
I can definitely call myself stupid as well.
Say Zach Wilson went 4-7 as a starter last year.
Mm.
The Jets are closing in on 2-5.
It appears that Salah was not the lone problem for the New York Jets.
No. I don't get, because like the defense is, I don't like, you're giving up 6.5 yards to the Steelers per play. That's not what you want to see.
Yeah.
Like, and this was the upside. I don't want to say this was like Garrett, like this proves everything right, but like this was the upside of Wilson. Like the deep ball has like killed the Jets. I know they've been a little lucky on a couple of them, but like if they can have a downfield passing game, I'm not saying they're going to be good, but there can be something there.
I mean, these downfield passes were underthrown.
That DPI, man, he's going for it. He's a seasoned vet.
He is. I mean, oh man.
Like, what else would you do with this offense? Bad offensive line, just throw it deep. Pickens can make those catches and hope for a flag.
Devontae may have been better off just sticking with the Raiders.
That's so that's the thing though. Like you go from like he thought he was gonna have this huge. Rodgers is better than what the Raiders were throwing out there, but if they can't win, like what happens to this franchise and like everything that's gone on over the last 2 years? It's just going to be interesting to watch unfold.
Van Jefferson in the end zone. Wide open. I mean, I could understand why Van Jefferson would be wide open because he's got like 4 catches this year.
Man. this was like, it happens from time to time, but like this was one of the, like Wilson was like 2 of 10 to start or something like that.
Yeah, as Jeff pointed on when he came out on screen, they were booing him after like the second drive.
I tweeted, like, if he doesn't show something, because they had 3 straight 3-and-outs. If he doesn't show something, like, I think you need to think about it, because like his arm strength looked bad, like everything looked bad, and then just flipped the switch. That Tomlin voodoo, man.
Toons is going to get the bailout this week. The bailout special. Sunday night
football. Steelers?
I think so, yeah. I think so. Damn, man. I mean, I'm looking at the live lines right now, and they're not nearly enough. 11 to 1. Best in markets 13 to 1. Nah, no.
I would have more faith if the Steelers aren't kind of gaining some momentum running the ball.
Yeah.
Because like that's if they weren't running the ball well at all, then like, you know, you get the typical score touchdown here, 3 and out, you have a chance. But
yeah. I mean, the Steelers are averaging 6.3 yards per play. This got to be their best offensive performance of the year, right? Like, I'm just checking the Steelers results, unless my memory's horrible. I can't even think back to like 2 weeks ago. But
like the Chargers, they kind of lit up in the second half when that game got out of hand.
Yeah, they scored 20 points in the game.
The Colts game was a lot of garbage time too.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Tomlin is that guy. He's the guy.
Figures it out, man. He pushes all the right buttons.
He's that guy.
It doesn't
Antonio
make
Pierce
sense.
is not that guy. Gerard Mayo's not that guy. But Tomlin, he is that guy.
It's just in the most unconventional way. And I think that's what's like hard to grasp. But we've seen enough that he can pull it together.
This does feel like the drive where the Steelers pass rush now tees off.
Yeah, because if Rodgers has to look for doesn't get the ball out quick, he's trying to look for something developing, take that extra half second, sack lunch.
I'm assuming, Sammy, you might be referring to me being a racist. However, I picked those 3 because they're known as like the motivating guys. They're not known as like the pure X's and O's type of coaches, motivators. I guess I could have picked Dan Campbell as well. Dan Campbell is that guy, by the way.
He's got a little bit of both, though.
Yeah.
Although his fourth down stuff is like kind of reverted a little bit, but
yeah,
they're scheming it up.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
I'm just like, I'm still going back to like the end of the first quarter myself of what I thought. Like if I would have had to line this game and what it turned into, I never would have guessed.
I mean, what did we say it was 15-3? Was that what the score was at one point?
Yeah. Oh no,
I think it was 15-6. 15-6. So 24 unanswered here. And they started with a running.
And they were gifted the 2-point conversion.
Yeah. Hackett's got to be the next guy out. Like that guy is just
so this is where like, whatever you want to have your opinions about Rodgers and whatnot. And like, you can say he didn't have a hand in it and whatnot. But like when you just keep hiring these like coaches that never worked, it like who's the last one that like had this like repeated like not that much success? Like who has a good turnaround?
Yeah.
Like are there any of them? Like none of these guys work out.
What Garrett Wilson? What is Garrett Wilson has had an F- game today? F-. The ball hitting him in the chest and going down all the way to the 1 yard line completely changed the game.
Yeah,
completely.
Right before the half. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like
James
that wasn't. I don't think that was tipped either.
No, it just hit him
Yeah.
in the chest. It was actually a great throw by Rodgers. Great throw.
And maybe some will say that the
This'll be a
trading
dump
for
off.
Devontae Adams might have messed up the.
Some might say. Very random comment here. The character IRS from the WWF was hilarious. I actually went as IRS for Halloween one year when I was younger. I put on the white short-sleeved collared shirt, black tie, red suspenders, briefcase.
It's a good costume. Easy one too.
Oh, easy one. And listen, I don't have the upper body build of IRS, but Jason's like, send the pic. This would have been long before I would have been taking pics on digital device. Did not. IRS is great. All right, there we go. First down. Lazard's cooking.
It's so funny because like Mike Williams is probably washed, and like part of me too with this Jets offense is like when Allen Lazard is your like third target. It's not like it's not hard to see why things aren't going well, even though he's played well tonight and pretty much all season. But it kind of shows where your offense is.
Nothing like the 2-yard pass to Conklin when you got 10 yards, 10 minutes left in the game.
No reason to be in a rush. Not at all.
No. I'm going to lose a decent amount of money on this game.
Do you have any is this like the Jets? Would you have any interest in them like as a longer shot to make the playoffs?
I've seen enough of this team. I've seen enough. False start. Like I've had enough of this team all around. Like they could make the playoffs. Like they could go on a run, but they're not winning anything.
They've beaten the Titans and the Patriots.
Yeah. And the Titans game was pretty much a true coin flip.
Yeah.
From advanced box score metrics.
How much do you upgrade their defense with Hassan Reddick, though?
It's a good question. I mean,
like not
is he in
not
football shape? I mean, I have no idea.
Question.
Yeah.
Not that he's going to be worth a ton, but like that was like obviously a pivotal piece that they were missing. When
I feel like Detroit's going to slide in the DMs here for Hassan Reddick and say, "Come on over. You're 2-5, and we need a pass rusher for our Super Bowl run."
Yeah.
Man, it's unfortunate they have the Pats next week.
I know. I mean, they slaughtered the Pats first time around, but that was Jacoby Brissett. In that, I mean, no quarterback would have been able to do anything in that game. They just sent pressure after pressure after pressure, and they were brutal. Brutal. Oh man, I think did Hitman release Conklin yards or receptions? I got to check really quickly. He might be getting receiving yards, 20.5. All these dump offs to Conklin are going to set 3 for 7. 3 for 7. And it's a good bet though. Yep. The Tutter. That was where I needed the Rodgers walk-in touchdown right there. Finally ran that play action at the goal line.
Probably would have had it too. Yeah, I don't. Their schedule is not terrible. The rest of the year, like Pats, they do have the Texans, but like Cardinals, Colts, then their bye week. Then Seahawks, Dolphins, Jags, Rams, Bills, Dolphins. Like, not murderer's row there, but
it's pretty decent schedule for them.
Like the Texans aren't like unbeatable now.
No.
The way the Jets have been playing, it's not ideal, but yeah, they probably have to go win 3 of the next 4. Maybe they win tonight. It's not over yet.
I mean, Conklin, that's 4 for 7 now. 4 catches, 7 yards.
Does he have over?
Under 20 and a half.
Under, okay.
Yeah.
Man, what a sweat. If you would have said he had 4 catches going into the game, you'd be like, nah, no chance.
This team's brutal. Brutal to watch. It's also like all the things that made Rodgers good before that weren't purely athleticism are also gone. Like, he seems like he's brain damaged. He used to take like good shots. He used to be able to find the right receivers one-on-one. You never would have seen him throw this like 3rd and 5 check down with a guy right on tight end's back before.
I think a lot of it, his mobility, like I still don't think he's quite there, and I think that really like affects him from getting that 2nd, 3rd like read as much as he wants to. Because like when he has time and he can actually like get his feet under him and step into it, like he can still sling it. Like he has good arm strength, but like if there's any bit of like off platform, you can kind of tell he has to throw it a little bit earlier. Than he wants.
Oh my God. Like, I mean, I think Devontae Adams is open there for a first down. Just got it knocked down. Like I can only imagine being a fan of this team. I can only imagine.
I mean, I don't want to say they're not anywhere close. Like the Cowboys are kind of like in the same like depression level, but the Cowboys like get your hopes up. So it might be honestly, it might be worse.
It depends on your perspective. Because I'm not a delusional Cowboys fan, so I always set the expectations very low. I think fandom, you kind of have to do that with most franchises. Expect the worst. It's when people get hyped up too much that they set themselves up for failure. And I never did.
Yeah, it's much better to be like pleasantly surprised than think you have like the best team in the league or close to it and then lose by like 20 against someone that's half decent.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're the Falcons fans and you started getting like excited coming into today at 4-2, you're like, oh, we played the Chiefs close. Like we were right there. And then boom, you get smoked at home by the Seahawks.
That's basically, unless you're a Chiefs fan, just set the expectations low. That's it.
The Steelers, though, you can't set them. The Steelers are like the opposite.
Yeah.
You like I feel like the last few years, Steelers fans have probably been rooting for them to do worse, to like get a better draft pick because they're not Super Bowl contenders, but yet they're going to be 5-2, which is just, I don't know, man.
No, but, I mean, they're very clearly a fraud team. Like they're going to be, it's the year that the corpse of Roethlisberger took them to the playoffs, and then they got smoked.
11-0, baby. 11-0.
Like they're not going to win anything. It's very clear that they're not.
Yeah, it's been that way for 5 years now. Ever since Roethlisberger blew his arm out, basically, because he never got the arm strength back. But they're like Baltimore probably win a division, but like they'll get like the 7 seed. They'll go to, I don't know, Buffalo probably. Let's say they go to Houston. That could be like semi-interesting, but
yeah, it could be. Houston's offense is broken and has been for a while now.
Yeah,
has been.
They're gonna be division leaders here going into tomorrow night Ravens game.
Yeah. I mean, though, I do say this about the Steelers, but there's so many of these teams that I don't believe in.
It's 2/3 of the league.
Yeah.
It might,
more than that.
Honestly,
more than that. Like even like the Packers are considered a contender, and I don't believe in the Packers.
There's so much. So my theory on this is the quarterback market is broken, right? Like we're no longer just paying people what they're worth. It's just like, hey, we have to one up the deal. So like the market's not efficient. And what that is causing is like Jordan Love will use, because you have to pay him $55 million or whatever he's making, 53, whatever that number is.
Yep.
And like he should probably be making like 40 to 45 if we want to say like Mahomes is worth like 55-ish.
Yeah.
And that's $10 million that you can't get another good player. Or like 2 $5 million depth pieces or something like that. So like these teams, like everybody has a weak link. And it's really, I think it's important. That's why the Chiefs have now built a great defense. And despite like running a bunch of nobodies out there, wide receiver, they're still just methodically beating teams every single week. Like helps when you have the best quarterback who's making $10 million less than this new wave of quarterbacks that just went through. Bills are the same thing.
I don't know what Arthur Smith is cooking up tonight, but Calvin Austin just had nobody within 20 yards of him. Nobody.
Arthur Smith had Ryan Tannehill playing pretty well.
The Jets DBs ran into each other on that play. Though what's remaining of their secondary?
Yeah, they've been gashed. That's another issue with them is they got absolutely cut up today.
Yeah. 3/5 of their starting secondary out right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what, like, I'm going to have to really think long and hard about whether I can believe Russell Wilson is back.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to ignore how good he's looked for the last couple of quarters.
I think if the deep balls were better thrown and they weren't like, maybe he's purposely underthrowing it. Like it's better to definitely be on the underthrown side than overthrown, but I'd have a little bit more faith, but like, I still need to see a little bit more, but like they're going to get 400 yards of offense here. Like, honestly, if you told me the Steelers have only got like 400 yards of offense, like 3 times in the last 5 years, I'd believe you.
I would as well. I would as well.
They did earlier the Colts game. I think they garbage timed their way into 400 yards, but it's been a pretty rare feat here for the Steelers the last few years.
Oh, is that out? That's Warren. I think that's a rush.
Yeah.
I need one more Warren catch. Not going to happen.
Man, who would have thought we're thinking about, like, again, I go back to the first quarter. I was like, maybe it's time to go back to Fields. Now it's like, all right, can Russell Wilson in this Arthur Smith offense kind of make it work? Because they have offensive line issues as well, like injuries. Like it's not like they're fully healthy there.
Oh yeah, it's Zach Frazier, their center's out, and Samalu's out, right? Oh no, it's Daniels that's out. Samalu's back. Yeah, James Daniels is out.
But like Broderick Jones hasn't been good at all this year. Like it's not like it's a good offensive line out there. I think that was the reason why the market was as strong as it was. It's like you have these injuries, then you add Adams for the Jets. How can the Steelers move the ball? It's like, well, they're going at 6.5 yards per play here.
Yeah. Steelers alt said no one. Yeah, in hindsight, the Steelers would have been the way to play it, and then Aaron Rodgers alternate and Breece Hall alternate receiving. I'm pretty sure that would have been a decent chance of cashing tonight, honestly. I don't know what Rodgers' yardage total's at. 276. Yeah. Breece Hall's at 103. I don't even want to think. I don't even want to think about what that.
It was right there. It was right.
That was the one that was there. The complete inverse.
You just do both sides of it every game. It's like pick the one team, pick a couple players on the other team to have success.
Yeah, because people think that the big yardage totals are always
the winning team.
The winning team.
Yeah,
and it's not.
Yeah, you got to get those garbage. Well, it's like Breece Hall. He's gonna, if they get the ball back, he'll probably have he's a good chance of getting 2 more catches.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Steelers, man. Mike Tomlin. My issue, I do have concerns. Their success rate has not been great tonight. But like, yeah, I don't know.
But the big plays are there for once, right? Like,
and is it like, is that going to be a thing with Wilson? Because that was my point. Like, I didn't think he was going to be too much of an upgrade, if any, over Fields, but they were going to be able to throw the ball downfield, maybe get explosives that way. Maybe that opens up more explosives in the run game, and that's obviously happened as well. So, yeah, I don't know. Who do they play next week?
the Steelers play the Giants Monday Night Football.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
How is this 4th and what? Did they blow this dead before they rule like forward progress has stopped?
I guess he was the ref ran
what's
in right on the
challenging if they've ruled forward progress has stopped. How do they challenge it?
I don't know. I don't think you can even. Did they mark where the progress stopped wrong? Can you do that?
I need to see the EPA change on the pass that hit Garrett Wilson in the chest.
It was minus 6.5.
Oh my God.
Win probability. The Steelers' win probability was 45%. It went to 68% on that play. Per running backs don't matter.
Oh, Bung Magoo says Braylon 2+ catches 25-1 next drive.
Will he be in?
Will Rodgers even be in?
Ooh, that's a decent. I didn't think about that angle.
Right?
That's
Jets
an
backup
interesting
quarterback, Tyrod Taylor.
That's an interesting. Does it if they don't have a drive, right? There's no action. They have to have another. They have to have the drive.
Correct. They have to have the drive. I'm listen. It's the NFL, and there's a lot of shit that goes on a weekly basis that might surprise us. You never know this league. But I will say I am truly surprised by the Steelers winning this game by 2+ touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like that to me is incredibly surprising.
Najee Harris has a 24% success rate on carries, and he has 17 carries. Like I don't even know how. It's just big plays.
Like I'm floored at this one.
Yeah. Yeah, fraudulent win. I don't just looking at this box score, like maybe I'll have to watch the game again or something to get a different read on it, but I don't know if I have a ton of faith in the Russell Wilson thing long term, but I don't know if the Giants are the team to negate it next week.
I know because the Giants have O-line issues, like left tackle problem.
That was bad. Like what Daniel Jones, how many sacks did he have today? Like
8. He took 8 sacks.
Yeah. Against this front.
I know.
I don't love the sound of that. And they were like moving the ball decently this year, not like anything special, but like they looked competent for the most part, and kind of makes it seem like the Andrew Thomas injury was the final straw on the offensive line.
Yeah. Yep, I'm with you.
Man, in what world are the Steelers going to be freaking 6-2? Oh man.
It's funny, Austin, because what you were talking about with the quarterback stuff, like I guess the Steelers are like the
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, this had to be the worst quarterback sneak of all time. He didn't move. Like just the defensive line.
Why wouldn't you put Justin Fields in for this though for like 2 seconds?
I agree, but like The touchdown was a bad QB sneak for us already.
Yeah.
This one was worse. Like it was like it was slow motion, and the Jets player just jumped in. Anyway,
I think he tried to do the like, let's go to the left like a gap or two, and somebody jumped that way. It was like, oh shit, we're done here.
And he's signaling still. It's just hilarious.
And
they have no
like,
idea where the ball is.
They have no idea. The ref, like this is truly hysterical. Because wherever the ref put his foot down, he clearly did not spot the ball there. So good.
We're not even going to be able to see it. Like we're not going to be able to like.
Oh, it's a bit. I think he got it.
I don't know.
I have no idea. We'll never know.
We'll never know.
We'll
What'd
never
they
know.
rule?
Can't you knock over the center like that though? Or I guess he came around.
So it's
they ruled it the first time. They were
yeah.
doing the arm thing.
The sooner this game ends, the better.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's worth it to challenge this, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's no real downside. Yeah. But
I guess they got it. So never mind.
Yeah. There's no view.
Right. Yeah. This is whatever they mark it on the field. So, Jason, what were you saying about the quarterback point?
Just about how you mentioned teams are like overpaying quarterbacks, and that's leaving like holes on their roster because they're paying. You're not necessarily overpaying them, but as a result of the market, like the price for quarterbacks have increased, leaving holes on the rosters. You have a team like the Steelers, who how much are they paying both Fields and
like nothing,
Wilson, like nothing, right? So it's all. And you were saying, how are they going to be? What was it, 5-2 or whatever they are now? 6-2,
5-2,
5-2. It's week 7. Yeah. So it, like, I wonder if that's like a factor at all. I don't know.
Maybe they've drafted pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously the key. You have to draft well. And everybody's been talking about how you have to this rookie quarterback cheat code, essentially. Like, the Texans were that because they're paying CJ Stroud $8 million or whatever it is. But yeah, like you like you said, you have to pay these guys that because that's what the market dictates. But like I look at the Vikings, right? And the Vikings I think they went after Kirk Cousins, but they didn't go all the way.
Right.
And he got $45 million a year. And now they got Sam Darnold for, I don't know, what's he making? 10 million, whatever that number is. And they draft a rookie quarterback who's going to take over next year, I presume. And look at them. They're 5-1 and their roster's stacked. Not stacked, but they upgraded it because and they needed to. So I think that's part of, like, we look at the Dolphins, like they are so star driven. Like the only team to get away with this was the Rams, really, over the last couple of years. So I think that leads to not these elite teams, and Patrick Mahomes just like bludgeons us to death every game.
So with the Sam Darnold stuff as well, it also has made me think, I've been talking to people about this as well, is the rookie quarterback contract. I know everyone is like, the ideal thing is you get a good quarterback on a rookie contract, but it seems so few and far between nowadays, right? So I'm wondering if like the new tight end is the quarterback, if that makes sense. So like, how tight ends there've never really been many tight ends who come in and are effective in their first 4 years on their rookie deal, which is why, and I'm not saying don't draft quarterbacks. That's not what I'm saying here, but it's almost like it feels like there's so many Renaissance quarterbacks. Maybe this is just recency bias, but does that make sense where my brain is going with this? I feel like I'm kind of jumbling my thoughts right now, not explaining it very well, but like the quarterback being almost a new tight end where they take a lot longer to develop in the league nowadays.
I think there might be some of that, but then again, like, people were like, Josh Allen completed 48% of his passes at Wyoming, and now it took him a couple years to get going. But I think the issue is it's just not a free agent market. Like, it's just, hey, we'll pay whoever. Like, Kirk Cousins is the last quarterback to hit the free agent market. He's done it twice. Like, he left Washington to go to Minnesota. Like, everybody else is like, hey, Tua. Like, I don't think anybody will tell you that they think Tua is worth 53 million or whatever he got paid. Jordan Love's played like a half a season at like pretty good level, like elite level. Sure, I'll give him that. And he got 53 million. Like, so I think that it's just like the FOMO of like, we got to have a guy that can contend for us. And like, there's owner issues with this as well. Like the owners are like, they want a winning football team because this is a business. But yeah, I think there's like, that's why I think the Vikings, like not overpaying for Kirk Cousins off of major injury was the right move, because they're set up so much better now than if they had 36-year-old Cousins off an Achilles, even if he looks semi-okay this year.
Yeah. I think this is a really good comment. Quarterback rookie contract is so valuable that it's worth it to swing and miss on the fourth best guy in the draft at pick 12. I would agree. The only problem is I think you're getting to the point where teams might be reaching too much.
Yeah. Like Bo Nix?
Like where Penix and Nix went.
Yeah.
That's like FOMO.
Here's the problem is like people are like, well, if you're Denver or Atlanta and you want to pick Penix or Nix at those, just trade down. But the problem is I think so many teams now have that mentality of, we'll reach on a QB. That I don't know that you can. It's just, it's making it interesting for sure.
Yeah. I think the Falcons one made no sense because you just went all in for Cousins, and Penix was older. Like he's gonna be like 27 by the time they can move on from Cousins. So like you lose out on that. It's the Jordan Love thing again, but Jordan Love was 21 when the Packers did their thing. So the Bo Nix one was, I think, 100% FOMO, because like that was, you saw the snowball effect. Is like Penix out of nowhere goes 8. Like McCarthy was still on the board. McCarthy goes, and Denver's, if you're Sean Payton, how many years does he have to win here? So like if Bo Nix ends up being a guy, if not, like who are they going to run out there at quarterback? So
Tom says also, to buying low on a journeyman quarterback like Darnold requires a good coaching staff to work, which is very rare in this NFL. That is also true.
That is like the new that might be. I'm not gonna say it's the meta, but like this Geno Baker. Well, Baker was never actually like as bad as what I think Browns fans like believed him to be. Like he was banged up, but like this Baker, like Darnold's gonna get like 25 million probably if he plays pretty well the rest of the year. Like someone will pay him. So I think that's like but like again, it's like, do you want to pay Tua and all these guys at 55 million, or do you want to get a Geno Smith at 30? Like in terms of building out your roster, you can make up that ground from Tua or whomever else to Geno with that extra $20-25 million.
Yeah. Najee Harris in the end zone here. Just wanted to extend the game even further for us. Could have just went down at the one. I get it. It's a home game. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. Scored a touchdown.
Steelers haven't scored 35 points in 6 years, so he wanted to get to that mark. So I have no idea if that's correct, but yeah. But the same thing with Rodgers. Rodgers getting paid a lot. I don't know if it's there. And now this roster is Jalen Hurts is another one. Again, they had to pay him, I think. Yeah. Because when they gave him that contract, Hurts was balling. Like, so I'm not gonna fault them too hard there. But you feel that
was a tough one. That was a real tough one. Because I think he was showing like he took him to a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. They're right there. Like,
but he was
they're almost. I
want to say it's kind of in the Dak conversation. Where he was is kind of where the Cowboys are in the Dak conversation.
Yeah.
I think
the Cowboys just spend so much money elsewhere and dead cap space. Like they're just cap crunched, period. That they couldn't, they should have never paid Dak that amount of money. I'm sorry. I like Dak. I think he's a top 10 QB, but that you get into territory where it's like, okay, this is just not the right number, anywhere close to the right number.
You just have to hope the Taylor Swift boom in the salary cap keeps going.
The Daniel Jones contract is hilarious. That one was,
but that one's pretty much done now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So, but yeah, I think his cap hit was higher than Josh Allen's this year. But that also goes into it. You can push money down the line because you can always convert it to a signing bonus and whatnot. But yeah, the Daniel Jones one, they beat that fraudulent Vikings team in the playoff. That was it.
Yep.
But that's totally different than the Jalen Hurts one. But
Yes.
That is
that Braylon
different.
Allen?
Couldn't tell who that was. I think
Davis.
it's Davis. Yeah. Davis. They've waved the white flag as they should. All right, Austin. Good to see you again.
Thanks for having me,
Appreciate you
guys.
joining.
Appreciate it.
Austin Mock. Follow him on Twitter at amock419. Have a good one, man. Not a great end to the week. Started very well with the Broncos. Good Sunday. Bad Sunday night. 2 more plays tomorrow. Join me. 8 p.m. Eastern time. Monday Night Football watch along tomorrow night. If you're around in the afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern time, it's Suma, it's Judah, it's Cleve TA, Eric Pauly, recapping the entire week that was, previewing Monday Night Football's games as well, plus their early thoughts on next week. Make sure you're subbed here on Forward Progress. All the nails. I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for the kind words. Much easier to get through these shitty fourth quarters when got you guys chatting it up all night. So really appreciate that from you guys and girls. If there is any few, I mean, YouTube tells me there's females that are watching. I don't know. That's going to do it. Why can't I win Terraforming Mars with? I've played Terraforming Mars only a few times. We'll talk other games at some other time, but Terraforming Mars is not a specialty of mine. If you want some specialties of mine, Wingspan, Space Base, those two. Very nice. All right. That's it for me. I'll catch everyone tomorrow. By the way, I'll save a surprise for later on. Let's save it for tomorrow. It's not really a surprise. I don't know why I'm teasing a surprise. It's not a surprise. I'm out of here. For myself, Rob Pizzola, our guests, Austin Mock, Jeff Feinberg, Clive Bixby, Jason Cooper as well. This has been a Forward Progress Sunday Night Football watch along presented by Fanduel. Peace out, everyone. Enjoy your evening.